Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
This one's turned on high in the air. Larson waiting for it to come in. I don't think he sees it. It's over his head. It's on the warning track. And here comes Joshua Overbeek chugging for three. He's going to have another triple.
Now you have the 9-hole hitter with 2 outs. Van Tyker slices one down the right field line. Diving! It's Rico, and he makes the play. For out number 3, Drew Rico. This one is in the left center field and down for a base hit. One run scores. Another's coming around. Nate McHugh is trying to get to second, and the ball gets loose at second. The runner north from third stays put. It's a 2-run double for Nate McHugh. This one is through the right side for a base hit. Belarsian's around third. He's going to score without a throw. Creighton has struck for 5 in the 6th.
Here's the pitch. Fly ball left field. Jet Buck moving to his left. Still called off by Moyer. Backing up, makes the catch in center field. And Jay Sean Unger comes in and saves the day for the Cornhuskers. Round 1 in the I-80 series paints the town red. And Nebraska beats Creighton 6-5.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Angry Ben McLaughlin is the best Ben McLaughlin.
Yeah, his voice like changes.
And we paint the town red.
He sounded a little different. A little bass in that voice, you know?
I think he was just flustered over people not pronouncing Grigo's last name correctly. I was about to flip and lose it.
Oh, I thought he might have been flustered by like the 5-run 7th. That was
Nah, he was icy. Like
Okay.
we see, that's why I like having those guys. We get such good insight, right? We've been talking about Unger for a month.
Yeah.
Just his development and he's a local yokel, man. So we're cheering. I was that's the kind of the way I want that series to go.
You know, like close like that?
Yeah, good baseball. They didn't kick it around really. It's competitive.
I mean, the one error was pretty costly.
Yeah, it was costly.
Yeah.
It was, but for the most part, you purists out there that get so mad. I can't like Major League Baseball and college baseball at the same time because they can't make routine plays in college baseball. And I'm like, man, relax. Relax. It's a game of managing failures. That's baseball. Baseball.
Yeah, I don't really understand the I can't enjoy both at the same time. It seems a little weird to me.
Oh yeah,
Your
those people are out there.
No,
Don't get me wrong, but I'm
I've
just saying, like there's a very distinct group that can't get into college baseball. I love college baseball.
Your guy had a little bit of a rough night.
Yeah. Who? Caleb?
Yeah.
Well, sure. So I was torn, right?
Okay.
Like between two lovers.
Talk to me.
And I'm always feeling like a fool. Something. And
I'm surprised you didn't make up the words. Like
I wanted to, but I'm trying to stay out of the hot water.
Night we had an argument.
Yeah, that'd be fitting.
That thing wet.
Pick one. Oh, by the way, today, I hope he's not in the stream yet because I don't want to give him any unnecessary love, but this is a Kobe day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, so 3 things, actually.
I said we have the Kobe jersey.
Well, that's
a medium. That must have been one of your boys', right?
No. Like my Kobe. Not that
No,
Kobe.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that had to be
I'm sorry.
one of your boys.
I forgot. We're trying to share him now. I'm surprised you want Kobe.
It depends on the day.
Yeah, because now he's back and you're like, oh no. But number one, I was laughing with Rico because
Kobe's already in here. Why does Childress trust Clark?
Damn it, I can't say anything good about Kobe. And he's hammering my man Clark already?
All he does is come in and let the other team in.
That's not true. So I was super torn on Clarky because I wanted them to give him the opportunity to pitch out of the jam.
Yeah.
So when Childress came out, I was like, all right, Clarky, this is where we because he was ascending.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like if he could have got out of that pinch, they might have been able to kind of settle in. Now it's back to Not sure what we're
Kinda
gonna
handle
get.
him with kid gloves.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
You know, but you know me, I was like 6th inning, and my 2 guys had the great plays, right? Clarkie came in and shut him down, and Grigo had the nice play in foul territory.
Yeah, no, that was a really nice play.
So I was like, ooh, what are the odds, man? This might be a good night. Clarkie and Grigo together doing big things. And I was like, yeah, no.
So from
that went away in the next top third of the inning.
So from where I was sitting, I think this is a player you're talking about with Grigo, where it was the one down the line that was like cutting away from him.
Yeah.
So where I was sitting right in line with where that ball was, and so I could see it like
everything went left to right last night, didn't it? Even on the last pop up,
and I could see it tailing pretty aggressively. I was like, oh, that's gonna be a way harder catch than it looks like off the bat. And he got. I thought he might have ate a little warning.
Grigo's pretty sweet.
Ate a little warning track there though.
Yeah, a little ouchy.
Yeah, it didn't look like it felt great.
It's all good.
Good catch though. It was a good catch.
Are you all bougied out, spending all that time in the booth in the box?
I'm never bougied out. There's always more.
It was cold though. So
it was
good for you for being inside.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't have gone if there wasn't a suite involved. Like the temp was. I was like, I can watch that thing on TV. I'm all right.
All right. I feel like I don't use the word, but I feel like there's a Megan Butenbach word, and there are.
Oh, for sure. That's fine.
I want to use.
Listen, I'm not about like being outside when it's cold. I can deal with hot. I'll deal with hot, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
All right. So look, that right there. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, that's Jay-Z, Hova, right?
This dude is the biggest dry snitcher in continental U.S. He really is. He's a child. No, but so I was pulling up and I was kind of chuckling, and Rico gets out. He's like, he's like got the backpack for little kids. He's like, he waves at me, and I was like, but you won't wait for me. So because I'm childish, I wanted his attention. I didn't want him to just have to get to walk straight in the building. So I rolled down my window and I got this music blaring. I said, Rico, do you want to know a funny story? He's like, oh, geez, what? No, it's too early for your shenanigans. I was like, listen, I'm listening to Rod Wave. You know Kobe, right? I said, the funniest thing Kobe's ever said, and he was like, oh, that's for, soft dudes that are having girl problems, blah, 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 Rod Wave. So that's how the morning got started.
Okay.
I have some chicken thighs, bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs marinating.
Yes, TK Diamond push-ups. That's 100% what he was talking about.
Yep, that's it right there. DDP, Diamond Dallas Page.
You got folks on the triceps.
And then you got to be like, ugh. The diamond cutter was one of the greatest finishing moves in wrestling. But the other thing is I have these, I'm doing like these, it's called Ave Verde. It's like Peruvian.
Okay.
But it's going to be chicken thighs on the grill. Micah wanted chicken and rice. He's like, chicken and rice. He's all geeked. He did 220. We totally flipped the lifting thing after we got back from West Point. This dude did 225 for 3 yesterday. So he's like,
let's go.
I need some more chicken and rice.
Gotta get them gains.
Yeah. But I was like, hey, Alexa, what's the forecast for today? This lady says, and I tried to change her voice. They gave me like 4 options for the Alexa Plus.
Yeah.
They all rot.
You didn't want like the British lady voice or anything?
Nah. So T-Mose changes that in his vehicle.
Yeah, no, I think we've talked. I think I've talked
Nah,
about
man,
this.
I'm not weird like that because I don't want that in my house. But she's like, high of 50, chill weather. There's a 90% chance of rain, some heavy. And I was like, I am not about to use this smoker in the rain and have this dude talk crazy again. So I left the house pouting, and I haven't even talked to anybody yet. I'm like, damn it. I'm going to be using the smoker in the rain again.
Yeah.
Man, I just needed to hold off. I'm a work around it.
If you don't take pictures of it, then he'll never know.
I know.
That, right?
I shouldn't have told on myself.
That's true.
That's fine.
No, you're
Is
exactly
that why
right.
we got the Kobe jersey today, or why Kobe?
No,
today?
we got the Kobe jersey just because I think we're only going to add maybe one more thing before we unclutter this thing. So we're going to let Rico swap out the Tominaga for why you give her a masculine voice?
I can't. What do you want me to do? You want me to like?
Yeah, she's like.
You want me to go higher in the register?
She's like, no.
Oh, no look past Driesel to Casey.
Want to see me do it again? I can do her voice perfectly. Ready?
Yeah, do it. Go ahead.
Ready?
Oh, no look past Driesel to Casey.
No, I need you to do that.
That's pretty good, right?
You
Did you
didn't
like that? That was me.
You didn't make any noise.
That was me.
No.
Remember?
You started a little late.
You're such a hater.
I'm just trying to get you to do your Jessica Cootie impression. That's all.
No, that was it. So we're gonna swap out the Tominaga jersey. I think he's gonna. I think he wants to be more mellow. So I'm with that.
Yeah.
And apparently, as a mellow lover, we have a lot of options.
Yeah, plenty.
I think we have Nick's mellow. I think we have Nugget.
He's got Portland mellow.
Okay.
We have.
So listen, you can't do Portland mellow because that was fat, frumpy booty mellow. We're not doing. That was when Mello was like still hooping at LA Fitness and wasn't sure he like all the way wanted to be in the league still.
Portland Mello had a couple game winners, so Portland Mello was balling out in the bubble.
Yeah, listen. I'm just telling you, COVID did not do that dude's body well. Most people were eating less, but still, I'm like frumpalicious.
Do you want Houston mellow?
No.
I don't have Houston Mello.
I'm gonna tell you the one I want though, because this was the mellow that I think had the best chance to win. I want to go with Nuggets mellow because I used to closet. I love the Carolina blue trim on their uniforms when they would wear the solid ones, and I'm a huge AI guy.
I wish I had the baby blue one that did numbers. I don't have that one.
Is it white?
I have the dark blue one.
That's fine.
Like alternate.
I mean, like I could be. I didn't spend money on them. I mean, it's your world. I just want you to be part of it.
So I got Denver. I got New York. I got 2 Portland. I got an LA one.
2 Portland. I don't know why the 2 So I know why you have. So 2 Portland must have been cheap because nobody was rocking with Portland Mellow.
They were not as expensive as the other ones. I also like them. One's like the cream one. It's real nice.
They were playing in a dark isolation chamber in front of like 7 people.
Do you have Q's mellow?
No, I have early Team USA mellow, like number 8.
Do you have Oak Hill mellow?
I've been looking for that one. It's very expensive.
Yeah. Best wishes.
Oak Hill mellow is really expensive.
And if you can afford Oak Hill mellow jersey, we need to change jobs.
The baby blue mellow one is super expensive.
I was outside touching grass yesterday and I saw a baby cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, ooh, something good must be about to happen. Maybe I'll hit the lottery. I wake up this morning, my dog's foaming at the mouth and probably has to go to the dentist. I was like, that ain't it.
That's not the lottery.
That's not the lottery.
I think the cardinal was a warning.
Warning. Yeah,
I'm surprised you don't have Syracuse mellow.
Back to your bouginess.
I really want it. I really do. I have a Syracuse mellow like warm up. It's like a velour warm up that I've never worn.
Velvet.
Yeah,
we said velour. You're not even old enough.
That's not what I thought you were gonna say.
He's got enough.
That's what
percentage. Oh, I knew where you were going. He thought I was gonna say you're not black enough, but I've heard that before, and that dude got whooped. So I'm not gonna thrust that upon you.
It's okay. No. I grew up with my Latino family. My black family lives in New York. I don't see him much.
Wait, do you like this?
Go ahead.
It's fine.
Do you like beans?
I love beans.
Of course you do. Never mind.
Am I black enough?
Oh, hi, Jimmy Neutron. How we do? No. You don't have an ounce of brother in you.
What? Not an ounce? That's a lie.
Matter of fact, Neutron, you might be the person I know.
Well, just for that, I'm taking my strawberry pretzel salad and I'm going home.
How dare you?
Wow! That's one of the funniest foods he could have said there. That was good.
And he rocks with it too.
I was saying it's probably not made up either. I bet you he has a strawberry pretzel salad today.
I bet it smells amazing.
Explaining his things, and I was like, "What? That's the most made up thing I've ever heard."
I gotta tell you. Okay, so if we want to talk about Austin's whiteness, because why not? So I think it was Monday.
That's Hall of Fame Doc Rivers to you guys.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. Don't worry.
We're steaming.
I swear to God.
It's like they've been hearing our off-air conversations about Doc Rivers because we haven't been talking about that on air. Really.
No, because nobody cares. But now he's in the Hall of Fame, I can yell about it. But no, so Austin, we were here Monday, and he's warming up. He's warming up some lunch at like 11 o'clock, which whatever, it's fine. He wakes up early, I get it. But so I was like, hey, what do you got today? Because it looked unusual, and so he's like, well, it's I'm gonna be that guy. I've got tuna. And I was like, what?
Why is he Don't say it's casserole.
Wait for it. So,
oh God,
Dr. Fiance was like, hey, I want some tuna. She was trying to be like healthy or whatever, get some protein. And so they're like, hey, what else do we have? So they're like, all right, we got some egg noodles. Let's throw that in there. And then it sort of just became this like Midwestern casserole Frankenstein.
Please tell me he topped it with peas.
I didn't think there were peas, but there was cream and mushroom soup.
Oh Lord.
There was there was something else in there. That it was gross. It was a vegetable.
Oh, God bless AJ.
Yeah, it was, and then he's like, yeah, I was like, man, that might be the whitest thing I've ever seen. I was like, that is like peak. What else was in there, Austin?
It was 6 cans of tuna, 13 by 9 pan. And then we did 2 cans of cream mushroom soup. We had 3/4 of a bag of egg noodles. So we put that in there, of course. Then we put a cup of frozen mixed vegetables, which included green beans, peas, and corn.
Yeah,
of course.
And then we, just in our natural whiteness, we looked in the bottom of our freezer and thought, how about we top this with tater tots? And you know what, Damon?
I thought you started out on this health kick.
You know what, Damon?
What?
I didn't put a seasoning in that bitch.
Not a single spice to be found.
Not salt, not pepper. Oh.
I said, if I'm doing it white, I'm doing it right.
I believe every word of that. Like, he said, I didn't put a single seasoning in that.
I was about to say that I was vouching for Austin's blackness a little bit. I gotta take it away. I can't. That's my man's, but damn.
On the heels of I love beans.
Oh, just to add this too, I did talk to the wedding venue. We did add Hennessy to the bar. And that was specifically for me.
It's true.
So, this is a great combination of days.
My man's does love Hennessy. What can I say? Austin contains multitudes.
Oh, where are they shipping it in from?
It's probably from his trailer in Kearney. Probably has some left in there,
So many.
They found it buried under the trailer.
There's a treasure map.
Oh, how many of my black friends do I still have left?
Oh, do we want to count black friends again?
No.
Okay.
No.
I think I made a couple more last night.
Did you?
Stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Well, I mean, why not? We're on. I mean,
one of them's your friend already.
We're working on race relations.
Was that at the baseball game?
Yeah.
Who was my friend?
Baseball game.
Todd.
Okay. Yeah. TB.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
He had a topic for us. He wants us to approach, but we'll wait a second there.
Oh Lord.
And then I think, do you know Rob? I don't remember his last name.
Parker.
He works at Cox.
Rob. It takes two to make a thing go right.
I can't ever remember his last name.
I'm sure.
I see him a lot. He's at like Supernovas games a lot. I don't know. He's a cool dude.
Oh,
yeah. I think he hangs out with Johnny quite a bit.
you're giving me the right kind of names, but very general. You might as well say Williams or Johnson. Like
Johnny Rogers.
Oh yeah,
Rob.
I do know Rob. Yeah. Oh, that fits. That fits.
Yeah. So he was there.
In the suite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fits.
Well, it was the Cox suite.
Yeah, that
that makes sense that he was there. But he's at Supernovas games a lot. So I think Rob and I are friends. I think we were before.
Nah, I don't know about that.
That was the first time I met Todd, but I think we had a.
Is this a good dude though?
Yeah.
So you were in good company.
Yeah, no, it was cool people.
Just bougieing it on up.
Well,
and they're not super bougie.
No.
Although, don't let Piper fool you.
Oh no! When he told me what he does, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, would you like to sponsor our show?
He could. He's so stingy. Like this, he should have adopted me a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you should see. Like,
and his wife was there too.
Now she's the cool one.
Yeah.
She is. There's a funny story.
She was talking about how the boys just spent a lot. Your boys just spent a lot of time at their house.
Dude, we lived over there.
Yeah.
I like. There was a night. Let's just say they're probably the main reason I'm married.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I was in. Your boy was hammered dialing that night. Boom. And after like the 55th call,
yeah,
finally was like, oh God, what does this charity case want? And that started the whole thing. He took a picture. This is horrible. I was so embarrassed. No business. But he took a picture of me. This is before he moved to the penthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like anyway. It was a little snowy. I had a truck and I'm backing out, and he had a kind of a difficult driveway. It was like a long runway that ran up to the side of where the pool was. Apparently backing out, there was a little S shape to me trying to maneuver the tree around the tree. He sent that to me in the morning. I was like, huh, thanks for letting me leave. This was like 2013. Yeah, that's probably, dude. We've been a lot of places together.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said he was going through all the places that you and him went coaching Caleb around.
Yeah,
and his son.
So we just would like we'd go to like, that was my guy.
Yeah.
Then he started making money hand over fist, and I was like, I'm still poor. I don't know if we can hang out. I'm probably dumbing you down a little bit.
You're like the exact opposite of everybody else. Everybody else doesn't want to hang out until somebody makes money. And as soon as somebody makes money, you're like, I'm good. It's a little
uncomfortable, man. Can't do it. I'm in the wrong business.
No, it was funny though. So we were talking about Caleb and Micah a little bit, and I was like, yeah, man, I like those kids a lot. Like they're cool kids. And he's like, yeah, Micah's such a good, or Caleb's such a good kid. He goes, and Micah might be some trouble. I think Jen goes like, yeah, he's gonna be a handful.
Yeah,
I was like, I think that's why I like him.
That's true. This dude, yesterday it was so. What are we gonna do about this IMG offer thing? Nothing. Nothing.
I mean,
dude is wild. But I love that he's like, I'm telling you.
Depends on what team they want him on.
That's yeah.
You want me to be his agent?
No. And you can't just have my kid for 2 years or whatever it is. But anyway, yeah, he's my alter ego. That's why I rock with him.
Yeah, Tyler?
No.
Oh, Micah.
Micah. Yeah.
No, that's what I told him. I was like, they are both 100% DB, just the opposite sides of DB.
Yeah. Mike is more Kenny. Caleb is the regular dude. So anyway, back to the game last night. Be honest.
Yeah.
Because most of those guys are Creighton honks.
It was a pretty good mix. Yeah. It was a pretty
really?
Good, yeah.
So who was rocking with Nebraska?
Helixo.
Oh, now he's got to be torn.
Well, he said he's not really. He said he was only torn when his son was playing for Creighton.
That's true, because he's a Nebraska fan.
Yeah, so he was really happy when he transferred.
Yeah.
And then he's like, man, I wish he had another year. Because
dude, how nice of a person.
Oh, he was so nice.
The whole family's like that.
Yeah, he was awesome. And he's like, I really wish he had an extra year, because then he could have played this. Like, this is a really great team.
Yeah.
And so
hold that thought, because I don't know if you believe that. So go keep going.
And then I think so. Todd was wearing red, so I think he was rocking with Nebraska. We were there with the Nebraska Sports Council guys. So Scott and Dave from Nebraska Sports Council, they were both rocking Nebraska. I think Rob was the only one wearing like overtly Creighton gear.
So I'm surprised TP wasn't.
He was in neutral colors. I couldn't tell who he was rooting for.
Yeah. Yeah, he's funny. We're on, as you could maybe hypothesize opposite ends of the political spectrum.
Oh, yeah, I could have
and
maybe guessed.
We 100% get along because at the end of the day, I'm not really a party line guy. I'm more like issues.
Yeah,
but like he's way the other way, and it's like we can still be boys. I like people I don't agree with all the time. Just ask Ravi. It's a good piece of cheese.
You agree with me more than you think.
Absolutely not. To your meltdown yesterday, I was like,
which one?
Well, I was genuinely concerned about Tiger, and you're like, F that guy. I can't support addictions. Which, by the way, the most unpredictable thing ever, he's stepping away from golf.
That's not what I said. I didn't say I can't support addictions. I said generally I am very empathetic towards people struggling with addiction. But in this particular circumstance where he's done this several times and hasn't
is that what addiction is, though?
No, but listen, I understand the addiction part of it. He hasn't put structures in his life to help him limit the problems with his addiction. Like, I understand if you can't stop taking the pills. I do. If you're a billionaire, I don't understand not having a driver on call 24/7.
1.4.
Like that's where I lose the empathy. Is like, hey, you're one of the few people in the world that has the resources to limit the damage of your addiction.
More money, more problems.
Even if you can't, more money, better problems, though. That's the part they don't tell you. There might be more of them. Like, if you're poor, you have like 3 problems. I can't pay rent.
I can't eat.
My kids are hungry.
Yeah.
All right. If you're rich, you got a lot more problems. But it's like, okay, my taxes are too much.
That ain't true.
How do I? Well, they're like, how do I make sure I don't pay them taxes? Who do I hire for a private driver so I can quit flipping cars in LA or Florida or wherever I am?
I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and think that's not one of the things at the top of the to-do list.
It should be. If you're Tiger, we are on like 3 very public car incidents when he is out of his gourd.
Okay.
That should be number 1 on his priority list.
I understand.
That's the part that I struggle with. It's not the addiction.
I just like how you skipped around on the list, right? It's tax brackets and how not to flip vehicles.
I mean, listen, for Tiger, it should be how not to flip vehicles, then maybe tax brackets, you know? It's like another problem. Should I have a little bit in crypto over here? Should I invest in commodities?
Why do you gotta go crypto?
Well, I'm not clicking on any links. Should I go and should I have a little bit in overseas markets if I don't like the volatility of the U.S. market? Like, those are rich people problems. And yes, there are more of them. They're better problems to have. I will die on that hill.
Yeah, I'd rather be miserable with money than without.
That's what I'm saying.
Believe me.
Those are better problems than how do I pay rent?
Oh, man. Are we good?
I'm just saying. Plenty of sympathy and empathy for addiction.
No, it's dangerous, man. I'm with you.
Not a lot of sympathy and empathy when you've done this multiple times and you haven't been able to put a structure in place when you have the means to put a structure in place to help yourself out a little bit. I'm not even talking about the pills, right? If you can't stop taking the pills, I get it. I'm not saying it's okay, but I get it, right? That's the hard part. The easy part, like,
out of his gourd.
You know how it is, man. You see alcoholics, like, when they're first struggling with it, like, they don't go out to places that have alcohol. You have to put some structures in your life to keep you from doing the things that have got you in trouble.
I understand.
Just hire a GD driver, Tiger.
I'm not arguing with you.
I did see a funny meme, though.
Of course you did.
I saw a couple funny ones, but only one of them can I say out loud.
Dude, what haven't we talked about or broached on this show that you feel would remote? We just
come on, Ravi. Do it.
Oh, no, listen.
Come on, Ravi.
So the one that I can't say that I feel comfortable saying out loud.
He literally just goaded you into this?
No, this is the one I was going to say anyway.
Because I know exactly which one you can't say out loud, and I'll say it.
You can say it. That's fine.
Sasha's probably like, oh, God, what are we doing?
He went from being the best driver on tour to the worst driver on tour. I thought that one was pretty funny.
We ain't got nothing on Scheffler, but.
Dude, don't even get me started on Scheffler.
Hey, Ravi. Is the one you can't say about his 2 sides?
I had no comment.
No, Wyatt said that already.
No comment.
Wyatt
no, but it was
today.
There was an included part of it.
The way it was phrased was pretty funny.
We did to tell that joke.
I'll tell you off air.
It's pretty funny.
The Tourette's is starting to kick in, isn't it?
If it was my,
I want to say it.
Robbie's got a twitch going on right now.
Here's the thing: if it was my joke, I would have said it already. Like if I had thought of it, I would not have been able to stop myself because it's too funny.
Yeah.
Since I didn't think of it, I have a little bit more self-control. That's an ego thing purely. I understand that.
TK is such a menace. Tell the joke, Rico.
Hey, Rico, you got any more of them jokes?
Punching over here, man. Let me hop in here and make it about me.
I heard you got some free jokes.
I do apologize for being like pretending like we're on drugs. And I don't even know how that came natural to us because I don't do drugs.
I was just doing the Tyrone Biggums. That's what I was doing. Heard there's a 5 o'clock free crack giveaway.
I feel my skin.
You all right? You got some of that chicken skin?
I said, gotta be chicken skin.
That was the joke from earlier, man.
I know it is.
It's a recall.
Austin?
What Austin said. You know the funniest part about that is he caught himself immediately. He knew what he had done.
Austin?
Yeah. When he did that, he's like, I don't know why I just said that like that. And I probably wouldn't have even.
I used to catch you all the time. Now you're more cognizant. I would say literally, whose voice is that?
I'm just doing an impression. Listen, if you can do Jessica Cootie's voice, I can't do somebody else's voice. So your guy Todd had a topic for us. So
can I ask you one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
You said Nebraska is really good. Great.
Yeah.
You believe that?
Yes.
All right.
I worry about their bullpen a little bit, but I think they're really good.
So the bullpen is it's not overblown. It's just not. You have a couple of guys that you're not sure what you're going to do with, but you have some other guys.
Yeah, like I feel good about Unger. You know, I like the starting pitching a lot, actually.
Chase Olsen is pretty good.
You know, I think in when you get into like having a fourth starter in Blockowitz, I think is going to be really valuable when you get into like regional, super regional play.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously in super regionals, you probably end up using him as a reliever. So that's actually really helpful too. But like, I don't like until you get
of the middle portion.
Yeah. The couple
6, 7, 8 guy.
Yeah. I don't feel
6, 7 guy.
Yeah. I don't feel great there. I like Unger. I'm not doing that. No. Spend too much time around kids, man. I'm not doing that.
Kobe's a fool.
No, he stepped away from golf, Kobe. He's got other stuff to do. Got other stuff to do, man.
Oh, man. I'm be thinking of him when I'm on the smoker in the rain.
Yeah, I just,
Joe Good out on Tiger. Terry, you did well, man. We have restocked the inventory. I just need more paint sticks.
So
now.
if you're going, so you like.
Do you know what these guys are?
That's Chuck Norris, RIP.
Yeah.
And then who do we have over here? I can't see him.
What's wrong with your screen?
That's a young Kent Pavelka.
Yeah, aka John Baylor. Flipping dummy. God, I hate you. Go ahead, talk middle relief, numbnuts.
Who are we going? So obviously we're a little iffy on Caleb Clark at the moment.
I'm not.
Well, you should be. I know like you've got an irrational affinity for him, but like at this point, like it's been rough for your boy. I don't know how else to say it. It's tough out here, So where are you going? You going like Olsen, Hara, Hill, Timmerman?
Yep.
I feel okay there.
Yeah, you're good.
I feel okay there.
Yeah. Manel's not. He'll figure it out.
Okay.
I mean, he hasn't.
I don't know enough about him. I don't.
History says he's better. He's good more than he's not.
Fair. So like if you've got one more, whether it's Manel, whether Caleb Clark figures it out, I don't know how you feel about.
They probably need another.
Bender.
They probably need another lefty outside of Chase.
Okay.
But somebody, I like this last night to get. Was it? Can't remember how it came up. But Chase does have. He gives me some Kyle Kubat vibes with a little better velo.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know,
Which-
Kubat was
that'd be-
constantly attacking the zone.
Also,
He
that'd
was
be a win.
fearless. He works quick.
You need your so here's
And,
part
and
of,
listen, that guy's like 5'10", 165.
Yeah.
I don't know what he is in the program. He's a little dude.
So here's part of the problem with
Kobe and Joe Good going back and forth over my man.
I think
Who's going to dig in more in this argument?
on Tiger or Caleb Clark.
Kobe or Joe Good?
Oh,
They both will go scorched earth.
yeah, I don't want to make bets on that one. So I wonder, and I haven't heard anybody talk about this, and maybe they have, I just missed it. But I do wonder about the approach that Rob Childress typically uses with his starters in terms of like working backwards a little bit.
And the count?
Yeah, like
Or out of the
working out backwards in the count, like with stuff wise, like
Yeah.
starting off speed and then working that your fastball off of that. I don't love that approach for relievers.
Yeah, and I don't think he's dead set on that.
I think they've, especially with their early struggles, I think they've kind of worked away from that a little bit.
I don't think he's dead set on that, but I do think
Like I don't love that approach for relievers. I need you to attack the strike zone. A little bit.
they need to pump strikes,
Yeah.
right? I think he's going to be an advocate of pumping strikes, but I think for those guys, it's forgetting it's forgetting about the situation.
Yeah,
just pitch.
Yeah,
right. But you know, you get in these high leverage kind of deals, and believe me, I puckered up out with a bat and a glove. So, you know, the more high leverage, that's why I love the sport, though, because it is about managing failure, and you have a ton of downtime.
And managing emotions, which like
right, and it's like when you hear people say, "Just throw strikes," and you're like, "No kidding."
I swear to God, I'm trying.
Hey, man. Rock and fire.
So here's the other thing that I think is kind of funny about that conversation because
Jack, I smoked some. I'm sorry.
What Jack say?
I just told you. I said I smoked some beautiful salmon this weekend.
Oh yeah,
it is so fire.
Yeah,
Jack, I got some tips. I'll get to it here in a second. Not frosted.
You know, people do the just throw strike things like, hey, just whatever. And there's a couple things there. Like, I won't talk about this part for very long, but Andy Rock talked about when people yelled about tennis servers. They're like, hey, how can you not hit two serves? And it's like, no, they can. But if you just loft that thing up there to Yannick Sinner, he's going to murder you. So you're better off with the double fault and like trying to do something with it. It's the same thing in pitching, right? It's like, yeah, I'm sure a guy could just throw one at about 80 down the middle, but that goes badly for everyone.
Yeah.
Right? Like there are certain situations where, like, yes, they could throw a strike, but you don't actually want that either. You want them to throw a good strike where the guy can't hit the ball or get clean contact, and that's harder, right? The strike zone seems big. The places you can throw the ball and not ruin everything are pretty small.
Yeah.
And that's the part that we don't talk about. So, just throw strikes. It's like, it's not, it's a little bit more complicated than that.
That's right on par with like guys that have never had to like manage a game in crunch time. Be mad about managing the clock.
Yeah.
Most of us can't think under duress. Like if our kid is sick, let alone with millions upon millions of people watching you.
Way lower leverage than that. I think I'm trying to remember.
We get frustrated in traffic.
I had some traffic yesterday on the way to the game. I was steaming, Willie beaming.
This is too late, but there's an easy way to come into that ballpark. As bad as the parking can be,
it wasn't. Once I got down there, it was on the interstate. There was an accident, so it was just like this whole thing.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
you got 54 lanes and you still bump into stuff.
One accident. Well, and this was down by like 50th. It was backed up basically to 680.
Yeah, and you wonder. It's like when you get up there, you're like,
this
bottleneck for this?
Yeah. You know what makes me really mad
it's
is when
idiocy.
there's not an accident at all and people are just braking for no reason and it backs up the entire interstate. And I'm like, hey, that's not great, guys. It's not ideal. This gentle curve in the road, I guarantee you, was designed to take the speed limit on.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
No, I think I can't remember what we were talking about.
Throwing strikes.
Yeah, I think there is.
And high leverage situations.
There it is. So, like, I don't remember what show used to do this. It was one of them at the old place that you used to be at, where you would ask trivia questions, right?
Yeah.
And as soon, or you just had to name like 5 or 6 things over the course of 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And as soon as they put a clock on it, people's brains went to mush.
Shut it down.
Then they're like, it was like, name 6 cereals in 30 seconds. And they're like, Cheerios? Fruity Crunch? That's not one.
Dang it.
Captain Pebbles? No, that's not it either. One of them has a toucan, I think.
Dingleberries.
That probably sounds like it when I answer.
No,
questions.
that'd be Frankenberries.
So close. But like, that's what I'm talking about. You put 30 seconds on a clock to win like a $10 gift card, and you have to name 6 cereals, and people wet the bed.
Yeah.
And then they're like, how come you can't call timeouts right? And it's like, guess what? Just because they're getting paid millions of dollars, because I know that's the next answer. Well, if I got paid $9 million, you still wouldn't be able to name 6 cereals. You're not built like that.
Oh, I like the way you make me laugh.
It's like the other day when we were just naming dudes, and Austin kept pointing at me. He's like, "Name a dude." And I'm like, I can't think of anybody right now.
That's exactly what happened. What kind of dudes were we naming? What, I don't remember what sport it was.
We were just naming I think it was NFL, just like random receivers, but they couldn't be like big name.
Oh yeah, because I busted out. I remember I was talking about Wayne Corbett.
Yeah,
big Wayne Corbett guy, and
I was like New York Jets Eric Decker.
Younger, you used to call him Shrebbit.
I like.
Oh, you want a good one?
I like to call him Wayne Sherbert.
Jason Avant.
Oh,
That's a dude.
Michigan great.
He would do that, and then he would just point at me, and he would be like, "Name a dude."
Let's just say Jason Avant. Yeah, and then he just points at Rico and he goes, "Name a dude," and Rico's like, Randy Moss. We're like, too famous, Rico.
I was trying to go like hyper specific. I was like, Miami Dolphins, Wes Welker.
Which, by the way,
Could have gone Tim Dwight.
I need to ask Lance, but Bulk Dog, what the frick are the Dolphins going to do with like 38 draft picks?
I don't know. Hopefully they
Do they have like it's either 12 or 50? They got double-digit picks.
My bigger question with the Dolphins is, why did you trade literally everybody in your franchise but then spend money on a quarterback? That seems like a bad idea.
I think them keeping A-Chain gives you kind of a glimpse of what they want to do.
Sure, but that's going to go badly for both of those guys.
Which, by the way, how did we go this long with calling Travis ATN and not A-Chain?
What?
Yeah, that's his pronunciation.
Really?
Yes. He's a Louisiana Bayou guy. So when he got to Clemson, nobody could say it the right way. So then when he got to Jacksonville, everybody said Etienne, and he just went with it. It is A-Chain.
That thing wet.
Dead dog serious.
But then there's actually an A-Chain that's spelled like A-Chain.
Correct.
Also.
Correct.
That's where I got confused. I was like, wait, what's happening?
I don't want to get it wrong. It's like the French.
Yeah, the Creole.
The Creole.
Yeah.
Pronunciation of how the E-T-T-I-E-N-E.
Yeah.
It's A-Chain.
Well, there you go. The more you know.
You're going to move to France.
No, I'm not.
Who's moving to France?
No, nobody.
Who's taking whose license? I
listen,
think they're still talking about.
Oh yeah,
I think they're still talking about.
Oh yeah,
Tiger. Okay.
Yeah, nobody's going away anytime soon.
Alex just hits us with a JJ Stokes, who was low key one of my favorites.
Why?
I mean, he was a 49er in the time where I was very impressionable. I know looking back, he wasn't very good.
Why do you think I don't like JJ Stokes?
Because he went to UCLA
and played that year.
Oh,
yeah. So down on JJ Stokes.
I mean,
down on Donnie Edwards.
He didn't do anything to you.
Yeah, I hate all those guys. None of it was there. None of it was my fault.
Pressing.
It was all them.
JJ Stokes didn't even play defense, DB.
Who doesn't go the wrong way the second play of the game? Talk about wetting the bed.
I think it happens to a lot of guys.
Wait, I thought you said get your ass back in the huddle.
We're
DB.
just talking.
T-Phrase, man, you can't talk to me like I talk to you how I want to. Get your ass in the huddle. All right, man. I guess that's what we're on today.
Ooh, Brandon Lloyd, Illinois great. That's a good one.
You went on Illinois this year
for football?
Yeah.
I'm concerned. Concerned might be too strong. I think they're going to have a little step back. I think Bielema's a really good coach. I don't think they're ever going to bottom out.
Nebraska going to be favored in that one?
I think they should be, yeah.
That means they won't. I think he bet like 248.
Well,
like the Guardians last night against the Dodgers.
248 would keep me in the league for about a decade. If I got a little pop at all, just a little bit, You don't got to have like that Richie Sexton pop until you're batting like 190.
Zip it. Nobody needs to hear from you.
Big Richie Sexton, Adam Dunn guy.
So over. I never got that hype.
You know why I liked him?
Because he could hit home runs and he looked like he was a.
Because he looked like Will Ferrell. He does. Do we have a picture of Adam Dunn that we put up there, Rico?
Man.
I think he looks like Will Ferrell.
He's constantly working.
It's also funny because Adam Dunn was so big that the bat looked like a toothpick in his hands, which was always kind of goofy looking. Richie Sexton just looked like he was like just stretched out, like somebody messed up the picture. Like the ratios were wrong.
I need to unlock your fixation at the moment.
What do you mean?
You're just like, you're on a hook now.
Listen, those random early to mid 2000s baseball players, that's my sweet spot.
It's a little off topic, but it's safe to say CB is the worst. He's the worst in baseball. I was laughing at his clips last night.
Oh yeah, because he was getting mad too.
Dude, he's horrible.
He was getting mad.
They can't hide him on any position in the field.
No, but don't put him behind home plate. It's the worst there.
It's the worst there.
I mean, listen, if you're bad at your job, you want to be at a place where you have the fewest opportunities to blow a call. So go put him on third or somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Third.
He's pretty bad.
It's pretty rough.
But yesterday, when the managers are laughing at you, literally laughing, both dugouts.
Yeah.
It's the easiest review in America. What are you doing?
Did you see the one? It wasn't CB Buckner, but there was one that was a breaking ball, and it ended up middle, and they called the ball, and immediately the batter was like, and then they showed they do the ABS thing on TV, and it's like that one ended up directly in the middle of the strike zone. That might be the worst call we see all year.
Yeah, that AB, I don't know. That would give me the willies.
Here's the problem, though. I was talking with Scott from our friends at the Nebraska Sports Council about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Is they need to 3-dimensionalize the ABS part because it's not right now.
Yeah,
and you're gonna miss some stuff that hits the front of the strike zone, and so they probably need to figure that out.
They will. It's early
until they figure out how to 3-dimensionalize it. They're not gonna be able to get rid of umpires.
I know, and then. It's when it goes on the Jumbotron and the fans lose their mind. It's
I'm just saying that Will Ferrell could play that guy in a movie.
You talking about Dunn still?
Yeah.
He's a big dude.
He's a big dude. So he's not he's bigger than Will Ferrell, but Will Ferrell's 6'4". Will Ferrell's a big dude too.
Hey, I found a clip for you, not just because I think he's going to be Carolina's next head coach.
Mm-hmm.
But remember,
Lloyd?
Yeah, remember how we were talking about yesterday? I went into that whole just because you think it doesn't mean it's true.
Mm-hmm.
The book called Don't Believe Everything You Think.
Yeah, that's
stuff like that.
About your brain's a liar.
Yeah, and we project stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This happens it's really prominent here because of the heavy media coverage and the fan interaction. So then sometimes when coaches take the podium, you hear it come out in their answers, even though, remember, I was like, sometimes I got to understand, is it just, if 50 people say it to me, it's still only 50 out of
a million or whatever.
500,000, right?
Yeah.
It may seem like a lot, but is it? Listen to what Tommy Lloyd said yesterday about distractions and kind of where his team is. Okay. Shane, do you have that clip?
Comment in San Jose about there's going to be a great coach after me. I know he's made similar comments like that before. about the program history, but some people were taking that to think, well, maybe he's going to go. So what do you make of that, and has anything changed, being as there still is talk out there?
It's absolutely true. There's going to be another coach. This is a great program. I didn't say when. You know, I mean, and people are going to speculate all they want. Guys, this team has my full focus. Nothing, I promise you nothing is knocking me off that path. And you guys might call them distractions because you're distracted. That doesn't mean I'm distracted or we're distracted. You know what's pretty cool? Once you get some experience in this deal and you're a player or you're a coach who's been at it a while, you get pretty good at, you know, eliminating the distractions. So I think I'm pretty good at that. And I just can't wait to get to practice today. I'm going to go meet with the staff. We're probably a little bit late. That's why Nate's pushing me to get up there. And I'm going to go try to have a good practice.
Is that not beautiful?
Yeah.
Like,
I also like that he didn't just straight up lie to us. Because that's my problem. Usually when that question gets asked, they just lie.
I tried to explain this with the Penn State thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, and I get it. I was wrong on Trev. Thought it was going to go down to the 11th hour, but I was 100% certain that Coach Rhule wasn't going to Penn State. Right? It said that a year ago, right? No real affinity. I get there's going to be this court thing. And he said, oh, what about the distractions? The distractions, not a distraction. And then they played the way they did at Penn State, and everybody was like, see, it's a distraction. And he leveraged the job. And I'm like, there's nobody in that locker room that thinks anything was a distraction. Like, the players weren't distracted. Now, they were poorly coached for that game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't any different than some other games. It just was magnified because Penn State started to play pretty well.
Yeah,
like
they have a lot of talent.
That's a talented team.
Yeah.
But because we thought it, we made it so. And I'm like, I think about Coach Hoiberg's roster in the offseason. It's not going to be this. It's not going to be that. Like, just because we think something doesn't mean that they do too. But like, when we're sitting around here talking, we'll pawn that thing off as fact, because you never know what the real conversations are between who? A player and the coach. And I was glad he said it, because sometimes I feel like I don't want to be like this chump elitist that says that's not how such and such things. Because, you know, I'm trying to, you said yesterday, I know, and it gets on my nerves, pisses me off sometimes. Like, I do try to listen to maybe some other perspectives, but at the end of the day, sometimes I just think I know what's going on between a player and a coach, right?
And sometimes you're going to have access to more information than other people.
I mean,
that's just what it is.
So it drives me crazy, because we put it through our filter, how we would handle it, or how we already feel.
Yeah.
And then we like speak it into existence. I'm like this whole, and I love I don't love the guy because I don't know the guy, but I wasn't mad at him. I was having this conversation on Twitter because, again, the hate-love relationship I have with, what do you call what we do when we cut out a clip and we post it on social?
Yeah, just the clip outs.
Okay, so it's for engagements, right?
Yeah, it's to drive people to the show.
You know, I hate it.
Yep.
I fight it. I don't like it, but I understand it.
Yeah, it's a complete necessary part of the job now.
So, you know, between Suave or AJ, I think AJ's pretty much the clip guy, right?
They both do quite a bit of them.
Okay, so however it's labeled, I always cringe, because I'm like, oh, okay, X amount of followers, this thing's gonna go out, they're gonna read the title, and I'm gonna get some feedback without them ever even listening to the segment. And you'll get the people that'll like plead ignorance. Well, I'm just responding to what was put out on social. That's your people. I'm like, yeah, my people know that it drives me crazy too, but I understand. Like, I stopped getting anxiety over it. And it was just like yesterday with what we were talking about. Like, I didn't, it was a rhetorical question. I know why we treat the sports different. Well aware. walk through the whole scenario. I said, at the end of the day, it's got to be this, and fans got to be able to admit this, and then the media can admit this, and coaches got to admit this, and Coach Rhule would take this back, and we like Coach Hoiberg because of this. Like the whole deal. Like it's not. I'm not asking as though I don't know. I'm asking for so folks can take self-inventory.
Yeah, so they think about
so
it.
they can just educate themselves, right, on the double standard. Like, because you can't have it both ways. They're two completely different things. But we compare the two when we're upset, and we say, well, why can't such and such be like such and such? Because they're not the same.
Yeah.
You don't expect the same. You don't act the same, and it doesn't have the same history. So stop doing that. It's disingenuous BS.
Yeah.
It's just convenient.
Because you're mad.
Because you're mad.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make it a good idea. And I told the so what's the thing? Oh, what's a terrible rate of ROI?
Yeah, I saw that. That was a good response. That was a really good point you made.
I'm like
that's not the metric you want to use.
And I gave him I'm like, because I'm very big on trying to tell you not how to think. Just gonna give you the information. I'm saying I don't think that's the term that you want to use.
Yeah.
Because Nebraska's rate of their ROI
in terms of actual money
in football is as good as it gets.
Killer. Absolutely.
So, but what have we done? We say because.
So this is the part that I thought was really smart. Is when people talk about ROI, they're not talking about money. They're talking about their emotional investment.
So I asked him.
That was really smart because that's what we do.
I said, do you mean your emotional investment? Because I wanted to get it. I don't want to go in for the kill. Because I'm not, when I see stuff like that, I'm not being emotional. Because if it's on social media, you're giving me time to think.
Yeah. You have time to respond.
And if you give me time to think.
That's why if DB takes a kill shot on you on Twitter, you earned it.
Typically I'll take me, right?
Yeah.
Because if I'm wrong, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I gotta eat it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or I'll say, hey, my bad. I should have said, or whatever. But it was like the third or fourth response of the same thing. And I'm like, you guys, stop saying that. That's not what you mean. They make a ton of money.
Yeah.
In football. Now, if you want to talk expenditures or where the money goes, what was the low-hanging fruit? The jets. Do you know how you'll know if the private planes work during the football season? When we see how the recruiting class turns out.
If the 2027 class ends up being what they think
if the 2027 class is any good.
Yeah.
But it's still something different than ROI.
Yeah. Strictly speaking, ROI is money in, money out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yield.
What we're talking about is emotional investment versus wins, or financial investment versus wins, which is not. There is no direct. We want there to be a direct correlation between we spent this much money, we get this many wins. That's not how it works. You have to spend a certain amount of money to give yourself a chance.
Phantom Husker, I'm curious. I love when people so wrong. When I read wrong, I read that as an absolute.
Inaccurate. The thing you said is inaccurate.
When you say wrong, I read that as an absolute. Would you like a link?
So
hang on.
Read his next comment, because he's talking about a different thing than we're talking about. He just is. He says, you'll know the private jets work when we win more football games, not recruiting class rankings. No, the private jets aren't related to wins. The private jets are related to how they're recruiting.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I mean.
That's exactly what, because you think it doesn't make it so.
Yes. You can't spend your way into more wins. I'm sorry. You can spend your way into giving yourself a chance.
He's too smart for that. I think he's just that's not what he means. But I give you every opportunity to talk about it. We could send you a link. We could go audio only, and we could just process through it. I like calls.
The phone should be ready soon. We got the number ported over. We have to do some testing to make sure it works with the new setup. So I think we're going to spend some time on that, but I think we're close.
How do we test it? Can we just call each other?
No, Sasha has to test it. She's got to do some technical stuff. I don't know how any of it works.
Whatever happens if we get to be smart, would that be dangerous?
Well, I mean, we'd be too valuable. You can't do that.
Who's we? I'm trying to make it to tomorrow.
We'll be back. We've got Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7, coming up next.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I was super excited that High Point, Dr. Cobain and Dan Hauser, that gave me the opportunity there. Just I'm so thankful for them taking a chance on me. I'm incredibly happy that they got the chance to be center stage, because that university is fantastic. The leadership there is amazing. And they just need the rest of the world to see it, because it's really happened in the last couple decades. So I'm thrilled for them. As far as it giving us confidence, I think I said to some people probably standing here when I started this year that they were sitting on 33 wins. So if Glenn Clayman, if you're watching this, I think you underachieved. I think you only got to like 31 and maybe 32. I don't know what it was, 31 or 32? 31. And I said he had 33. So I mean, in my mind, he underachieved. No, I was super thrilled for those guys, having recruited so many of those players and have relationships with them. Man, what an awesome thing for those kids in that university.
Just getting to know everybody, really. And coming into this conference, I really think the O-line is bigger and faster, so I had to adjust quick to that. Because, like, first practice, they ran an outside zone, and they was moving, so I'm like, okay, I got to get ready now. But after that, I was good. Everybody just say, oh, he's an undersized guy, but to be honest, I don't think he's undersized. I think he's going to be a great player for us. That's my opinion. I think if he got a one-on-one, 10 out of 10, I think he's going to win the rep. Husker Nation, I like it a lot. Like, it brings more energy to me, like just seeing people watching me and they screaming my name. Like, I had it a little bit at San Diego State, but this is just crazy. Like, I never had this before in my lifetime, so yeah.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Here is Husker 24/7 senior writer Brian Christopherson.
Yeah, you got guys walking into Ace Hardware without their shirts on.
Brian Christopherson.
We got a pretty good sewing circle in this state.
Brian Christopherson.
To me, it's like crunch time, baby.
Here is Brian Christopherson.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. BC, how are we doing today?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear us, BC? What's up, bud?
Oh, there he is. You there, B?
Brian?
I heard him clear his throat.
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
There he is. Let me clear my throat.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Looking good, BC. Good morning.
Be on a bit of a delay.
Are we on delay, Shane?
Shouldn't be.
BC, are we rocking like real time? Oh shoot, that's a delay. Oh geez. Shane, how's the best 10 seconds of your life? Hey, do we want to let him log out and come back in and see if we can fix it?
I think so.
Okay. We'll be right back with BC.
That was an aggressive delay.
He said, yeah. Hi, how are we doing? How are things? I'm just trying not to, like, it's fascinating. Like these, I'm not the ROI and the
BC, you here? You got us?
Wait, what is going on? It's Rico's fault. That's the only thing I can. He just lobbed me the bird. You can't.
I'm here. I don't know if I'm on delay or not. How's it going?
Is that how we doing? Is that good, BC? Say something quick. Damn it. I don't know how long to give him.
It's nope.
Can you see if we can do like audio only or something with him?
Shoot.
Maybe it's the video. Yeah, we'll figure it out here with
wait
with BC just a second. That was objectively hilarious.
I don't know. Oh God.
Oh jeez. Oh. What is this? What's happening right now?
Rico is just jacking around. What was that? He's like, oh, let me mess with the guy's big old medulla oblongatus. Do that again, Rico. What was that about? Were you just working the cameras? He's like, no. This is after he lobbed me the bird. You don't even get that back. A-Train's like, I have vertigo. Me too. And I'm super special, so you guys need to treat me with kid gloves. Do we have BC back, Shane? Oh, I heard the throat clear again.
BC,
cool.
You there? Can you hear us?
Throat clear. Let me clear my throat. How's that?
Oh, we got him.
All right. Are you okay with not being able to see us?
Yeah, I can see you. Actually, I'm looking at you. But
what about now?
No.
How we doing, BC?
Yeah, what about now? Shane must have thought I was gonna be profanity laced today and wanted me on like a 15-second delay.
All right. So how are things, BC? How you been?
Pretty good. I'm a little tired, but I've been trying to catch up a little bit this week. But it's been a fun ride the last few weeks. Despite what happened Thursday in Houston, that was one of the more enjoyable experiences of my sports writing career, actually, following that team and what they got done in March Madness and the joy they brought, I think, to the fan base.
BC, so how long is there like a statute where you're thinking to yourself, all right, we got to enjoy this. We heard Coach Hoiberg in the locker room, and it was pretty emotional. I felt like, bring your kids back, and you did something special, and don't ever forget it, where you want to be able to stay and enjoy it in the moment before we start worrying about whether it's sustainable or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the time period is at least this week. All right. Because the portal opens up very soon next week. But and I know the guys within the walls have been plotting. Plotting sounds like they're villains, but they're definitely been thinking about their plan of attack here in the portal. And obviously they've been, I think, proactive in looking to retain guys. But yeah, as people on the outside looking in, I think this week is still for some appreciation of what was done and looking at the big picture. And I knew that we would get to that after about 24 to 48 hours after that loss. And I think, honestly, Iowa losing to Illinois in the Elite Eight was probably helpful to that a little bit, that Husker fans aren't watching them in Indianapolis this weekend. So I do think people have kind of come around and like, oh man, that was fun, the whole thing. I just did a top 10 list of like my top 10 favorite games, memorable games from this season. And there's like 3 or 4 that aren't on there that normally would be in the top 3 to 4 list of any previous Husker season. That's how good it was.
BC, you mentioned this was maybe the best or the coolest. I don't remember what word you used. Couple weeks of your sports writing career. Like what was like? Was there a favorite moment? Is it Vanderbilt? Is it the fragrant shot to win before you have the anxiety of the Tanner miss at half? Like what was your favorite part of that stretch?
My favorite part, Ravi, it's a great question. It was just that it was so focused by everybody on the game, like the stuff between the lines. And I feel like in the last 5 years or so, for understandable reasons, so much of what is talked about and that we're focusing on is stuff that's away from the field, and it's the NIL conversations and like, okay, what's this thing over here mean to like how college athletics is going to be a year from now. And then you get in that environment where there's about, I don't know, whatever it was, 15,000 Husker fans, and they just take over an arena like I haven't seen in an NCAA first or second round game. And the Vanderbilt game, though, is number one. I mean, obviously the breakthrough against Troy at the moment was as special as it gets, but then it got topped, honestly, because that Nebraska Vandy game was as good of a sports setting as I've been in. It was as loud of noise as I've heard at certain spots in that game. When the team came out for the anthem both days in Oklahoma City, it was crazy. And I'll tell you the other thing, when they went to Houston, it wasn't quite the same takeover it could have been, but there were more Husker fans in that building on that Thursday night than there were Houston fans. And so hats off to just this fan base and this team. I think they really felt like they're in on a mission together, and they had great additional storylines with the father-son thing with Sam and Fred. Of course, that was kind of a tearjerker, and especially people saw that locker room speech. I think you couldn't help but be moved when he got to Sam. Obviously Kent has announced a lot of games, and there's a lot of happiness for him to experience that moment. But also just like, people grew up watching Husker basketball when they're playing like Big 8 games on Raycom and stuff like that. Like, that always kind of hoped they'd have some March Madness memories. And now they had a team that created, especially one that I think was an instant classic, whether you're inside or bubble or not, against Vanderbilt. That was just a great all-around NCAA tournament game.
BC, how quickly will you transition? I mean, you had the spring game on Saturday. You're kind of back at it again, and it's like, all right, here we go. Like, how quick did you transition from sport to sport? Meanwhile, you still got softball and baseball. I know those aren't your primaries, but I mean, they're alive and kicking.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can do it all here. I'm not a guy, I think you guys know this, I don't get into comparing the sports to one another or whatever. I think they each have their own hurdles they have to clear, and they're different from one another. They've come from different places. The landscape of each sport is different. But as for me personally, it wasn't hard to jump back into football because I never left it. I was still writing about Paul Mubanga while sitting courtside, 2 hours before the game in Houston. And I love that stuff. I think you can move in and out. We can do, as I always say, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. I sometimes can't, but most of us around here can. And I was fine driving it back. I wish I would have stayed in Houston longer because of the obvious reason, but I drove it back, got in at 2 a.m. on Saturday and went to the spring game. And I thought, honestly, even though it was maybe under the radar to some spring games past and sort of the buildup, I thought the football part of it was actually pretty interesting.
So BC, wow, 2 a.m.?
That's 2:08 a.m. Yeah, and I was listening to, I had the JFK conspiracy thing figured out because I drove through Dallas on my way back, and I stopped at the grassy knoll and did my own research, and then I listened to like 8 hours of podcast on it while driving back. So I've got some opinions if you want to get in that. Let's not, though.
I do. because nobody likes aluminum foil as much as I do. I have.
It's not aluminum foil on that one. That's not aluminum foil. I'll just.
Right. So this will let me know if I need to expound.
Okay.
Yes or no to a magic bullet?
Oh no.
Okay.
Watch the documentary. People need to watch a documentary about the Parkland, the Dallas Parkland Hospital surgeons, like 15 to 20 of them. Then there was still like 8 or so alive as of the last 5 years or so, and they give a very full description of where the bullet wounds were. That then were it was presented a different way. Let's just say.
Huh. Okay. So, without getting into it,
I don't think this is trouble. I think this is like, if people go do the research on this one.
Was there a signal or no signal?
I don't know if there was a signal. There was, I believe pretty certainly there was a shot behind the picket fence where I stood, and what people can think whatever they want to think. If Lee Harvey Oswald was a patsy or whatever, I don't care. I'm really interested in that conversation. I'm more so the type of guy. I think a lot of people are like this, and unfortunately it tends to be with tragedy. I like to go be at a spot where something at one moment, the biggest thing ever in the world happened there. I remember when we were in New York, and again, this is a tragedy, so it sounds really bad, but this is the way it kind of works. Like Brunson and I walked by like where John Lennon got shot. And I'm just the type of guy who needs to stop and like take that in for about 20 to 30 minutes, because I'm like, right there, man, that's where something happened that like shook the world for a while. And so that's more so where I come from. I will entertain all thoughts on it, and I'm being a little facetious as I talk, but I do have an opinion. I think on this one, I think there was a couple shooters. That's my take on it.
BC, you just vaulted to like further GOAT status. Sometime we're gonna chop up about what happened to Malcolm X too, man. We're gonna really.
I need to dig deeper into that one. I admit.
Like I got Big Pharma, the whole nine, man. You want conspiracies? I got you. All right, back. Let's speak. Well, I'm gonna stay with another conspiracy. There's another conspiracy, Lovey. Another conspiracy.
And now back to Jamal Rule.
Yeah. Exactly where I was going. So the other conspiracy theory is fact or fiction. The running back room has given you some inklings that Nebraska is justified in not portaling, which was such an early topic of conversation when we heard Coach Holgerson kind of bristle. Well, he didn't bristle up. He was very specific on why they didn't go get another portal running back.
Yeah.
And it seems to have almost played out how he said it, but do we know enough?
I don't think it's like full vindication where if you're on that side of the fence, you're like, see, I told you. But I do think it's encouraging, like what they've shown. And I think I've been on the record as saying I have had a very open mind about that room. And I'm a big EJ Barthel guy. Like not just as like evaluating running backs, but I mean, if you look at his recruiting scope and, his work in the Chicago area and with, guys like Claude Mpuma and Trey Taylor, he's been very good for this staff as a recruiter. He's a workhorse. And so when he is on a guy like, we can start with Jamal Rule, but also similar paths at recruiting with Mekhi Nelson, like they're both running backs that like EJ has known, I think, I don't want to exaggerate for him, but like since they were like in 9th grade at least or so, like he had an eye on him and was ahead of the curve on both of those guys. And at some point you got to trust the expert in his field that he's done all the detail work that others haven't for 3 or 4 years and thinks this guy can produce here. And the early signs at least are Jamal Rule has both the size and the right mentality to come in and at least compete. Let's just start with that. And that's a big thing for a true freshman. Like he's already up to what, 208, 210, I think. Yeah. And that was like his goal weight. So he looks the part. I think he's done a lot of work on his body even since the bowl game, it looked like to me. And then he's just, the word that's come up from Matt Rhule like a few times is conscientious in describing him this spring. Just a guy who wants to put in the work. And I did not get the sense they brought him up front after his performance Saturday that he was satisfied at all by, like, he knew there was going to be some praise that came with it, of course, but he was thinking about some detail items of the position that he really had to lock in on these next 6 weeks. So I feel like more positive about the running backs after the spring than before it, but I wasn't as down on them as some going into it. I do think in a general sense, I would have to believe that they help that conversation not be as, I don't know what the word is, just like probably as in the air or just as constant and as it had been since the portal. Maybe it kind of simmers down a little bit.
Let me ask you something real quick, if I can, Ravi. So, I heard a little bit. This is kind of the we've been on this thing the last couple of days about, don't believe everything you think. And there's still some folks that are a little defiant about what situation the running back room is actually in. Now, short of injury, which all bets are off, right? Because you lose capable bodies. But if guys stay healthy, fact or fiction that you feel like you know more about this running back room going into 2026 than you did in 2025?
That's for me. I would
year over year.
Yeah. I would say fact to that. I knew a little bit more about Emmett. No. What I'm gonna say though, Damon, is I knew a little bit more, but not much more than I know about. Like what I knew about Emmett last year at this time is just a little bit more than I actually think I know about Mekhi Nelson at this time, if that makes sense. So not much though. And then Mosey, of course, it's a little different because he just jumped into that position, so you're still trying to figure it out. But I thought he looked good on Saturday. I like where he's got his weight. I like his dedication to that. Like, this is my spot now. I'm fully invested in it. He wants to be an inside runner and show all that.
Like
and then
last year against Cincinnati, that was the first game.
Yes, he did. I mean, we didn't see him touch them.
You know more about Mosey, right?
Right. I would say as a whole, we definitely know more about the running backs than a year ago. I just started it off with Emmett. Like maybe I knew a little bit more about one guy than one particular guy on in this room, but not much more. I thought Emmett and Dana Holgerson last year at this time was going to be a good marriage. It just felt right, like the last few games of the season. So I guess to your question, there was that part where there was a little runway to it. Like, I think that's going to be pretty good, but I don't know for sure. But as a whole, when you talk like 3, 4, 5 guys in that room, yeah, I think we actually have maybe a better read or a better idea of what some of their talents are this year than a year ago.
I find it fascinating that we're kind of, some are still on like, oh man, you needed a proven portal running back. We're always talking about fiscal savvy and being smart. It's like, why? Because why? Running back is just one of those rare, and it's not rare. You don't know until you know. So it's like, why put yourself in a situation where you have to speculate or spend unnecessarily? I guess I'm just really, really struggling with that, especially considering my frame of reference, because no running back has left Nebraska's program worse than when they got there under Coach Barthel. I think that's also a fact.
Yeah. Well, I think you were done a bit of a service on Saturday then, Damon, because I do think that it was sort of one of those things. It won't be like overkill about it, but Jamal Rule, there's going to be a little bit of excitement about that now. And like, okay, he's in that conversation for real. That had been kind of reported that he was, but people want to see with their own eyes. And they saw some things that now are going to be like, okay, maybe have another guy that I wasn't factoring in as much to this conversation. And I do wonder if it dims it, at least sort of what we had, that topic that had been pretty consistent with a drum beat for a couple months. So that's probably a good thing. I think they had a good day, and that's an O-line that I think, if you're talking about things you're most excited about or optimistic about, I love what they did in the portal with the 3 additions, but also I think they have the possibility to bolster those running backs with who they've got up front. It's a experienced group. I wrote it the other day. There's like 7,300 snaps or something between the 5 of them at the college level, and that's not even counting like a guy like Gatula, who I think most years would probably be penciled in as a starter somewhere. He can be in your rotation when he comes back in the summer. Sam Sledge, I think, has done good work to maybe be in the top 8. And then Tyler Connacht's an experienced guy who can go all over the place on wherever you want him. And so they might have like actually 8 there when it's all said and done, which I don't think they've quite gotten to in the past years.
BC, staying on football here, but kind of switching gears a little bit. Think back for me. When's the last time Nebraska had a quarterback that threw the ball as naturally as Anthony Calandria that was also that mobile?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I would argue he throws it a little bit more naturally than Tommy Armstrong did.
Probably Gans, for me.
Yeah,
he's a lot more mobile than Gans, though, isn't he?
I don't know.
Gans
was pretty.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I get
that's
Gans
a good,
but I mean, Calandria ran for like 600 yards last
But just
year.
imagine Gans playing in
a different system,
an RPO system.
Okay.
Yeah, I would go with Gans. I would not have thought of him because we only had him for that 1 year, but it was a fun year, and he could move. If you go back, like there's a game against K-State on the road that year where it felt like he scored 2 or 3 times from long distances. Like he had that in his bag, and obviously could spin it a bit too. So Gans is probably a good name. I know to your question, obviously everybody at first, your brain's like, okay, can I count Taylor? No, because people say, that it was just a herky-jerky kind of motion. And so it kind of, you cross him off maybe to your specific question. I did think by the end of his career, like the junior year, Taylor, for what his mechanics were, had figured out how to be an interesting guy in the passing game where he had that completion percentage climb. But as far as just smoothness, probably Gans.
BC, you're kind of looking at, how do you pit what you saw against or with the offensive line versus how you think Nebraska wants to play along their defensive line? We'll go position by position group here defensively, but did you have any? It's hard. It was because it was so vanilla, but did you have any? Well, that's interesting thoughts. Let's not go with like hot takes, but that's interesting, or I like this, or I could kind of see that. Did you have any of that along the D line going against the offensive line the way that they did?
My first thing would be, okay, so I know like after the game it was kind of mentioned that like they ran on offense for 364 yards, but that's between the two offenses, and it was on it was like 374, I think, or something, on 64 carries, which did average out to 5.8. I was kind of, the way Rhule answered it, because I think I have to watch the broadcast with the sound on again, but I think he was saying how like during the BTN broadcast, he was on the mic saying he likes how they were kind of, maybe keeping the explosives out of it. And I actually had the same thought talking about the run defense until Jamal Rule's 75-yarder, which I think came against mostly reserves. I'd have to look at who all was on the field.
Did you pay attention to the concept? The actual running play, they false pulled away, then inserted with the tight end to the field. It was such a slick concept.
Okay.
Like
I did.
I was telling Sir, like during that run afterwards, I was like, because Searles was kind of intimating how he liked. He goes, it doesn't look like much different to the eye unless you're paying attention to O-line play. But he said the run schemes are just cleaner. And so we'd kind of been talking through it the whole game, the whole radio broadcast. We were talking about, okay, see, there's what we're talking about. And we were trying to give tangible examples. And then the 2 longest runs were actually because of concepts. Rhule's long run was they got numbers to the field. And then if you look at Booth's long run, it was during 2 minutes. They counted numbers in the box, and they went short side pullers. Like, it's like if I was on defense, I don't think Nebraska was misaligned. I think it was a really good concept given what the time was on the clock. Those are the kinds of things that I'm actually encouraged by.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And then what I was going to say about the defense, so the 2 plays happened, right? I'd have to look at who was on the field, but mostly when your 1s and 2s were out there, I thought it was a good give and take for the most part. Like, I did like the O-line, but there were 107 yards of the rushing gained on the 2 plays we're talking about, Rhule and Connor Booth on the 32-yarder late, 75 and 32. So that brings it down to it was like at around 60 yards or 65 yards on 62 carries on the other plays. And so that to me is actually sort of a kind of number that I like if I'm watching it, just like, okay, I want to see some good stuff from that line where I feel like they can get after it a little bit with that run, but the defense isn't just in Olay mode where here you go and out of position all the time. And I did not feel that. And so I did hear some people and kind of say, oh, the D-line's still a problem based off that. I think the D-line has a lot to answer that I'm still curious about. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's the group I wonder the most about. There's no doubt about that. But I did not leave the spring game off of what we saw, down on those guys at all. And I thought, it's been said by everybody, but, Jasir Whittington is the type of guy, if he's really good, you talk about changing the narrative on stuff. I mean, one of the things along with the running backs was they just did not get it done on the D-line portal haul, right? That's sort of out there. Like, they needed one more guy at least and this and that. And I'm open to have that discussion too. I'm just saying if Jasir Whittington is a dude, that'll shift that a little bit. And I like what we've seen and heard about him. And by the way, he's a great quote.
That is our guy, BC, Husker 24/7. BC, appreciate the time as always, and glad we could get you off a delay there so that we can.
Brian Zapruder Christopherson.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna start calling you BZ from here on out.
That's fine. People can go do the research on it. I don't think that's a tinfoil hat one. I do think there are some topics like that, but that one I feel like is fair game for a good discussion.
All right, next week, do your research on Malcolm X, okay?
All right, we'll do.
All right,
buddy. Hey, VO,
thanks, guys.
Malcolm X is in your wheelhouse. You're not far from the boulevard.
Yeah, that's true. I'll dig into that one.
All right, buddy. Good talk.
That's Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7.
Oh, we should have talked about Kobe and Big Pharma.
Listen, that's where the problem with these start.
Listen, leave my friend alone.
You go from hey, there's some real questions here that need to be asked and answered, to, hey, this one looks a little funny, to, I don't like that this thing happened. I wonder if something weird happened here too. That's where you make the jump. That's not a good jump to make, DB.
Reynolds rap, baby.
Not everything bad that happens is because somebody did you wrong.
Reynolds rap.
Sometimes bad things just happen. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We'll be back with Kevin Suits coming up next year on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah,
I don't know that. I don't know that's established. I think that's a good thing. I think we have a lot of guys who can do that. I think when I look at the guys out there, I think Anthony naturally has that ability. I think Ja'Cory naturally has that ability. Luke is a guy that people follow. Justin Evans is a guy that people follow. On defense, like I said, there's guys like Jasir who are just going to lead with their effort, and guys like Riley who people respect, Cam Lenhart. So I think we have a great balance right now of guys who've been here, been in the program, understand what it means to play at Nebraska. How we want to honor our fans and the legacy here in the stadium when we play in there, and at the same time, guys who've come in who bring some juice, who bring some leadership qualities. But I think right now we're less looking for leadership and more looking for good football, to be quite honest. We're looking for production. We're looking for grit. We're looking for gritty guys who show up every day and want to be part of a brotherhood. And but most importantly, they want to go out and execute and play hard. And so we're certainly not anywhere where we need to be, but we've had a good spring.
I think I'll probably feel it later. We're trying to get ready to play a game, and obviously I think they'll still let me in this building once in a while. So, but yeah, it'll probably be a little surreal tomorrow when we have the last one. Yeah, hopefully win some games. I think it's tricky in a tournament like this. Number one, who's available? Number two, what's the level of motivation? So, I hope we can get ourselves ready before Thursday to just go in there and have a little bit of fun, fly around, and see what happens.
Do you have an update on who may or may not be available for you guys?
Not totally. Austin's dealing with some injury things that might require some work at some point. So he's really the one in question right now.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Kevin Suits from 1011 News in Lincoln. Kevin, what's going on, man? How we doing?
Good morning. Doing well. How are you guys?
Pretty good, man. It's quite the turnaround for as jovial as you were Saturday morning, man. Was your travel relatively smooth compared to some other folks?
Absolutely not. Nope, not at all. That was one of the worst days of travel in my life. So I was leaving the arena in Houston at about 1 o'clock after we got all of our stuff taped and buttoned up. I remember this is an exact quote. Our shuttle driver overheard us talking about our rearranged flights. Originally, they were scheduled for Sunday. Then they got moved up to Friday. My boss was doing all of that as we were in the midst of the interviews and everything else going on down there in Houston. And our shuttle driver overheard some of the flight times. And he knew that I flew out around 8 o'clock in the morning. This is at 1 a.m. And he turned around and looked at me. He goes, "Brother, I'd go right now." His exact quote. I'll never forget it. And so I went to the hotel room, packed everything up, and I was in an Uber less than an hour later. And it took me I got in the Uber around 2 o'clock in the morning, and I got to my gate at 6:30 a.m. for an 8 o'clock flight.
Oof.
Oh.
I did not sleep. I did not sleep. It was like there was a little bit of adrenaline pumping right there and a curiosity of what in the hell is going on there in that Houston airport, because you guys have been to amusement parks, right? Where, as you're waiting and you have the checkpoints and it says like you're an hour away. You wonder how real is that? I think they kind of undershot some of those. And plus the lines, they go up and down and up and down and up and down. And then you go up the escalator. And when you went up the escalator, you thought you were close to TSA. Oh, no, they took you outside. And what used to be a passenger drop-off line became up and down and up and down and up and down. And then you're back in. You go down the escalator and you do it all over again. It was not fun.
Kevin, I was at LaGuardia on the famous Sunday where the plane hit the fire truck. And we ended up, they delayed the plane 20 minutes, thank the Lord. We were in line probably 3 hours and almost 50 minutes for a 2 hour and 54-minute flight. But I was telling Ravi that Monday, I could not believe how the airport and security were leaving it to people's own volition to police themselves with those serpentining lines. People were outside at LaGuardia. You'd go and you literally would snake this thing with no barriers, no anything. You turn the corner and it's like, oh, I can see the home stretch. No, that's about an hour 40. We were timing each direction of the line to try to get a guesstimate on if we could make the flight. It was arguably the most miserable experience I've ever had.
Well, nobody likes missing a flight, right? Like it's a horrible feeling. So now you've added in this element of complete, like you have no context of anything. So not only are you possibly going to miss your flight, you don't even know if you're going to miss your flight because you don't know how long the line is going to even take. Yep. And bless this one lady's heart, when baggage drop was awful too for me because there were so many people and with the early morning flight, that's miserable anyway. But there was one lady working and there were hundreds of people all huddled around one area trying to check bags. She was probably about 5'2". And, a petite little thing, but she had a booming voice and she was trying to organize the chaos. But with that many people there, you could be the most direct person in the world or the sweetest person in the world. People still aren't going to listen. And I don't think I was the only one that didn't sleep at all. So now we're all grumpy. We're hungry. We're angry. We just want to get to our gate. And I'm glad that I could kind of set the table for some of the other media members that were going to be traveling back on Friday, because then they got wise enough to hit the stopwatch. They're like, all right, I'm stepping out, yeah, cool. You got to your gate in 45 minutes.
Okay,
mine was that times 10.
Yeah. So when I saw you Saturday, you hadn't slept because that was probably 9:15ish, 9:30, right?
No, I had slept. Not a lot. I had lost a night of sleep the day before. Okay. The Thursday to Friday, zero sleep. Some people can sleep on planes. I had a connection in Chicago. I don't know if my the plane in Chicago even got off the ground before I was asleep. That wasn't the case on the first one because I was still hopped up on adrenaline and coffee. But yeah, I lost the night. So it was nice to be in my own bed too, because not only the Houston trip, and these are not complaints, guys. Let's make this very clear. This is a fun time of year. But preceding Houston was Oklahoma City, and that was a long trip. And preceding Oklahoma City was Chicago, and I went to the Big Ten tournament. So I have not spent much time in my own bed. So Friday night into Saturday morning, I slept like a baby because I was in my own bed in my own house. So that was nice. I was sleep deprived, but glad to know that you described me as jovial, DB. I don't know if my wife would agree with that.
I was Saturday. I was pretty impressed if you're short about 16 hours. But how about you just referenced the schedule? And I think this is sometimes something that gets lost amongst the fan base because we talk as though there's this endless supply of revenues and fiscal savvy and what we're spending money on, and football should do this and basketball should do that. Yet, not impromptu, you expected to go to the Big Ten tournament, but then you're at the dance. You make it another weekend. There's meals, there's travel, there's hotel stays, there's resources that need to be allocated that may or may not have been in the general funds budget just in case break glass. That's some fancy accounting that had to happen. I mean, just think about how stressful it is for your work. I mean, the athletic department on that kind of travel budget is vastly different too, right?
And you should never underestimate Nebraska fans too. You know, you never should, because we've seen it time and time again. They will show up no matter the sport, no matter the occasion. But I guess I had some doubts on how many people were going to go to Houston, just because so many went to Oklahoma City. And the Oklahoma City trip was an extended stay. For some people, they were there 5 days. So to go home, you know, I talked to a couple from David City, and they were with another couple from Shelby. They went home and then they left all over it. You know, like that was pretty common. And yeah, one of my curiosities, and I guess part of the reason I was skeptical of how many people were going to go to Houston was because of the price tag, you know, because some people drove to Houston. Most people, I think, flew to Houston. And so if you're getting an airline ticket on short time, especially with the airline prices right now, like, what are we just not going on summer vacation anymore? And everybody's got this, like, it's really easy to just say, like, oh, I saved by not going on a bowl trip for all these years. Like, come on, really? Do you have a separate fund just for the bowl trip that you just, like, you're pulling that thing from 2019? You know, I don't know that that's, you know, tell me the truth here.
We blew that reserve on groceries and gas the last 6 months.
Right. You know, but yeah, I thought I was impressed again with Husker Nation of the way that they all went down to Houston. And it created a really fun environment. It's just unfortunate that, you know, the trip to Houston was down there for one game and then right back on Friday for most people. Some people stayed, though. I know that folks had tickets, you know, for the entire session. So they stayed and they watched the Illinois-Iowa game on Saturday.
As you got back here, you had the spring game and everything, obviously. How did you kind of take that in? I know the crowd was a little bit smaller, I'm guessing in large part because of what we just talked about with the basketball team. But how did you kind of process what you saw, or did you feel like you saw enough on Saturday to feel like you learned anything?
I don't know that I learned much outside of who wears what number.
Right.
You know, there wasn't a whole lot of learning there. I don't know if, like, I might not be the most qualified person to answer that question, or at least, like, just given the whole, like, I was running on fumes. I didn't have a clear mind, you know, like I couldn't drink enough coffee there up in the press box at Memorial Stadium. But my overall takeaways, I thought the spring game started pretty slow. You know, like maybe I was looking for a wow play to kind of energize the people that were there. And, you know, I think that the defense played pretty good early. The offense wasn't, you know, the holes weren't huge, you know, as they tried to run the ball on both sides in the running clock first quarter. So that kind of was a slow start for me. Overall, if I have one big takeaway, it's that, you know, Calandria is going to be fun because he's going to get out of the pocket and probably make some plays that we haven't seen in quite a while. And I think Jamal Rule's got a pretty good chance of being Nebraska's starting running back. I was very impressed with his size, the way he runs, vision, shiftiness. You know, I'm excited about his future in Nebraska.
So let's say you're right. I think that's gutsy. But that speaks more to how you feel about the room and its totality, or just Rule specifically?
Rule specifically. I really just like the way that, you know, body composition, a little bit of shiftiness, and I think he's only going to get stronger as the summer goes on. You know, let the strength staff continue to work with him and nutrition staff, and, you know, DB, you know, like the body transformation, it takes a while, but those first few months when you're at Nebraska, you're working with that staff, like there are some pretty immediate gains. So, you know, it's April 1st right now. He's going to have 4 months of working with those folks before training camp begins. And I think that the body composition is going to even get better. So I don't know that that's a commentary on, you know, Mekhi Nelson and Mosey and Quentin Ives. I think it's just more about like what Jamal Rule brings to the table. Plus, he strikes me as a really hungry guy, and he's got a pretty simple story. He didn't have much interest recruiting wise, and I think he's going to be highly motivated as a collegiate student athlete to prove everybody that overlooked him wrong.
Yeah, this is I love this because it just invites dialogue, right? I like opinions. Because I remember, you know, Ravi, as you remember Penn State and Iowa, there was this talk about strength and conditioning. And people talked about how, you know, Corey Campbell got a pay raise and what's going on with strength and conditioning. And then we acted like we didn't say that, right? Like people weren't talking about it. And I think it's just convenient because I look at the aforementioned guys you just talked about. Mekhi Nelson looks fantastic. Mosey looking like a running back. The frame, the weight he's put on. Perhaps nobody's transformed their body more than Ives, right? Rhule is fascinating because of how it looks versus when we got him. But for Ives to go the other way and look like an accomplished back, do we dare talk about strength and conditioning and nutrition yet? Or are we so jaded, Kevin, that we're like, well, let's just see how August looks. They got 4 months of OTAs. Or can we just stay in the moment? I mean, look at the O-line.
That's a good point. I like to just I want to just stay in the moment and just say, like, what did my eyes tell me on Saturday at the red-white scrimmage, and I just like individual skill sets, what they brought to the table. Here's the other thing about the running back discussion, too, that's worth considering is, who's going to be able to catch the football. And, last year they just had Emmett do everything. And they have some different skill sets to work with. That you mentioned Mosey, and he can catch the ball. There's no doubt about that. And so they might have special packages for him. But in terms of just like straight on the guy going into Nebraska's 2026 season, it's going to be a great discussion. It's going to be great to see how it all unfolds because, everybody has talked about how they didn't get a running back from the transfer portal. And maybe they didn't need to. Maybe they have really good guys that are just going to continue to develop and get really good. Because, if you rewind, 3-4 years, were people talking about Emmett Johnson this way? No. But now look at him. He's going to be one of the top guys, running backs in the draft. So give him a chance. You don't need to strike gold in free agency at the running back spot.
But Kevin, I'm just telling you, we saw so many 1,500-yard glimpses in his previous 500 total yards that he had going into last season. How can we not know, Kevin? I mean, what are we talking about? We need
rage baiting me here. You're just trying to get me all worked up on.
It makes people just dig in. It's a big feelings over facts instead of facts over feelings. We didn't believe in Emmett Johnson going into last year. We tell ourselves we loved the 450 yards he'd amassed before that, and we knew we saw glimpses. Because if you try to rationalize why they didn't unnecessarily spend money, or perhaps Coach Barthel and Coach Holgerson knew what they were talking about when they said they liked the running back room without having to go to the portal, we still want to be right. It drives me crazy because we've seen guys produce and we still are like, but it's like, just let it go and see how it plays out. If the guys stay healthy, it's a good run. It's a good room.
It is a good room. And, sometimes when you get somebody from the outside, there's no guarantees what they did previously translates. I don't know, DB, I don't know that I'm fully on board with you saying the 450 yards, 500 yards with them. It led me to believe that Emmett was going to be Emmett that he was last year.
That's what the defenders are telling you on why it was okay they didn't go get a portal back last year but need one this year. I was being sarcastic.
They got a portal back in Jacques Yant a few years ago. And, Jacques Yant struggled to find the field.
Not the spring game, though. He was a monster in the spring game, Kevin.
There's a lot of spring game heroes in Nebraska's past, especially over the last 10 years.
You remember the Jacques Yant spring game. I know you do.
Absolutely. I mean, he ranks up there with Kerensky Gillian for spring game heroes.
Miller. My man Robin Miller was the best spring game running back maybe in Nebraska history. And I was a huge Robin Miller guy. There's been some legends.
I mean, you're still here for the Frankie London spring game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know that Jamal Rule, I don't want anybody to think that I was just caught up in a 75-yard run. I thought that, what he did early in the spring game, just being able to be patient, and stay behind his pads. He's patient to watch the play develop. And, for a freshman, I thought he looked pretty good. So let the fascination and, the intrigue of a freshman running back in Nebraska, let that go wild in your brain.
That's our guy, Kevin Suits.
I love it.
10-11 News in Lincoln. Kevin, appreciate the time as always. Great stuff. And I hope you have. I hope you've slept at some point over the last week. Just catch it up a little bit.
Kevin, you're trending. You never disappoint.
Well, I'm trying to catch up. I still am in a fog, and I will say, I documented Chicago to Oklahoma City to Houston. I'm an Illinois grad. There are some of my college buddies that are going to Indianapolis. I've had the invitation thrown my way 7 times, I think. I just can't do it. I can't spend another weekend out of my bed, even though it's my alma mater playing in the Final Four. So I got some FOMO going on right now. But, what I won't have happen in Indianapolis, I'm going to have with my head on the pillow and hopefully just enjoy catching back up on sleep. We got a big spring coming up ahead.
Kevin, I'm not trying to damage your marriage or your mental health here. I'm just saying, how many times do you get to watch your alma mater in the Final Four?
05, baby. It's been over 20 years.
That's what I'm saying.
And they played my guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's, I'm very much of the, like, if you have a team that you really like.
Dude, that was Augustine, D. Brown, Luther Head, Darren Williams.
Yeah, that was an incredible team. And it's been a winding road back to the Final Four for that university too. But hey, I just got to watch it. Here's the saving grace. And this is how I can justify it, Ravi, in my brain. I got to watch them not only in Lincoln, I got to see them at the Big Ten tournament, and then I've also gotten to see them, even last week when they beat Houston and put on a defensive clinic. I was in the building, got to see it. So
all right.
It's not like I'm totally removed from it, but yeah, if they do something special on Saturday, it's just going to be, like you're going to get the text messages, you're going to get the pictures, and it's just going to say, you're just going to say, why was I not there?
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, we will talk to you later. We appreciate it.
Okay. Be well, boys.
Thanks, Kev.
That's Kevin Suits, 1011 News in Lincoln. Let's take a quick break here. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I was super excited that High Point, Dr. Cobain and Dan Hauser, that gave me the opportunity there. Just I'm so thankful for them taking a chance on me. I'm incredibly happy that they got the chance to be center stage because that university is fantastic. The leadership there is amazing. And they just need the rest of the world to see it because it's really happened in the last couple decades. So I'm thrilled for them. As far as it giving us confidence, I think I said to some people probably standing here when I started this year that they were sitting on 33 wins. So if Glenn Clayman, if you're watching this, I think you underachieved. I think you only got to like 31 and maybe 32. I don't know what it was, 31 or 32? 31. And I said he had 33. So, I mean, in my mind, he underachieved. No, I was super thrilled for those guys, having recruited so many of those players and have relationships with them. Man, what an awesome thing for those kids in that university.
Just getting to know everybody, really. And coming into this conference, I really think the O-line is bigger and faster, so I had to adjust quick to that. Because, like, first practice, they run an outside zone and they was moving. So I'm like, okay, I got to get ready now. But after that, I was good. Everybody just say, oh, he's an undersized guy. But to be honest, I don't think he's undersized. I think he's going to be a great player for us. That's my opinion. I think if he got a one-on-one, 10 out of 10, I think he's going to win the rep. Husker Nation, I like it a lot. Like it brings more energy to me, like just seeing people watching me and they screaming my name. Like I had it a little bit at San Diego State, but this is just crazy. Like I never had this before in my lifetime. So yeah.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. Don't forget to give our guys a call at Next Gen Mail Medical, 402-614-9700. If you're like Rico, maybe you used to be a great athlete, right? You're top 10 in 4 different events at the Division II university in track and field. Great athlete, Rico. But, you age a little bit, you get married, you have kids. Maybe you're not the athlete that you used to be. Maybe you're not in track shape anymore, but you still want to be like, hey, when I go out there and I get involved in our team kickball, I don't want to tear up my legs and maybe pull a hammy when I'm racing people out at the College World Series. You need to call our guys at Next Gen Mail Medical, 402-614-9700. My guy, he needs some of that Sermorelin, for the healing. He needs some TB 500. He needs some BPC 157. I think he's okay on testosterone, judging by the amount of kids he keeps having. But maybe some of those healing compounds and peptides for my guy, Rico.
You know how hard it is for him to just take this?
402-614-9700. I'm going to call him for you,
Here
Rico.
I am just hoping to be able to play 50 and over baseball, and you just hammered my man in that endorsement.
I gave him lots of flowers first. I bet
you know what? I'm glad this isn't on Reddit. Just unnecessary fucking pop shots. What is going on? What is happening right now? And you know what? You're right, Ravi. That I don't need any more testosterone. You're right.
I gave you some compliments. Right. I gave you a testosterone compliment. I told people what a great athlete you were. People probably don't know about that.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I appreciate that.
Was that worth an F-bomb?
But aging happens to
I get like one a week.
Oh, God.
Aging happens to all of us.
I knew that was driving him up the wall. Dang it, I'll fix it later. I knew that was driving him up the wall.
I'll be waiting for my delivery of all of the things you just mentioned. I'll let you know how that works.
I'll call him for you. I'll talk to our guy Nick. I mean, he might be able to help you out.
Please do.
He might be able to help you out. Get some of those.
I'll take it. You know what? I'm gonna get back to my athletic shape just so I can show you what's up.
That's what I'm saying. See, like we've got.
Thanks, Austin.
I know something's coming. We can't. Oh my
Thanks,
gosh.
Austin. Thank you for that. I got such a skinny face.
I mean, I think keep the hair and the beard.
Yep.
Keep the hair and the beard. But
hey, did you run with those on?
No, I had contacts. I actually had to jump with those on once because I got sand in my contacts and I didn't have backups. Also wore a headband every once in a while.
Oh,
I look. You know what? Hey, I'm wasting my other one for my next week. I look so fucking good.
Oh, there's all 4 horrible. Look at that.
Ah, there it is.
Oh, wow.
The lighting when in my redshirt junior is just off.
Of Suave. This is amazing. And all this started because you low-key roasted him.
I wasn't roasting him.
Unhinged Rico may be my favorite.
I
Rico.
look good. Now I see why my wife said yes.
On multiple occasions.
Multiple occasions. Tell you what.
Did you start dating as a redshirt junior?
What's up?
Did you start dating her as a redshirt junior?
I started dating her as a freshman. What are you talking about? Look at that guy.
Oh God.
That guy had all the ladies.
Oh, see, you can tell the difference. Look at his face in the freshman that's like innocent, wide-eyed, doesn't know what's going on. Redshirt freshman has found himself a woman.
Hey, I had the red shirt.
He's like,
hey, I had the red shirt.
He's like,
yeah.
You look at freshman Rico, he had the red shirt. There's a reason.
It's because women weaken legs.
Hey, no, I was still fast.
I thought that was a true thing. That's what
it's misleading.
That's what my friend told me once in college.
It's misleading.
Hey, it makes me run slower. Huh? It's a myth.
I feel like that was supposed to embarrass me. That just got my confidence up today.
Testosterone. Rico said,
I look good.
Now.
I gotta get back to that.
I told you, he's good on testosterone. I think he needs some of the healing compounds, I think he maybe needs some of the sermorelin in there, too.
So you just doubled your quota. He said, I'm good for 1 a week. He dropped 2 in 2
I know.
minutes.
He's like, I'm using my 1 next week. The first one was mad. The second one was happy, though. So I like that progression.
Oh, stop trying to let yourself off the hook.
Oh, I don't feel bad about what I did at all.
Dude, just flame the grass.
I felt like that was a great read for next gen.
Dude, Austin is, God, he stirs the pot.
That's what he does.
Dude, he's incredible.
He's a little mischievous.
I'm still laughing at him walking me through the whole casserole.
Dude, that was rough. So
he said, not a seasoning in it.
Now he comes in, what'd I do? So there's a lot going on in the chat here about winning and return on investment and things like that. And here's, first of all, we keep comparing to Iowa here. And I'm going to be honest with you, year 26 Iowa and year 4 of Rhule, probably not the same thing. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that
I've missed most of this.
You have, yeah. So I'm trying to fill you in here. So the 22-year head start, I do think matters.
I need context.
So they kept talking about it's the Iowa spends this amount of money, Nebraska spends this amount of money, Iowa wins more games. Which again, not how spending money in athletics works, but that's fine. Let's pretend like it is for just a second. Let's pretend like there is a direct correlation to the money you spend versus the wins that you get. Let's pretend that's a direct correlation if you're spending money wisely. Let's also consider the fact that a company in year 26 of their business is going to spend money differently than a company in year 4 of their business. And the things that you have to spend money on are going to be different. Somebody brought up a really good point in the chat about the research and development costs, right? When you're early on in a business, if you're early on in developing a product or early on in developing a program, you're going to have to invest more upfront to get returns on the back end. Those first few years of your ROI aren't going to be the way you want them to. Now, here's where the real problem comes in for me, though, is there is this sense among Nebraska fans because of who we've been as a football program. And I'm telling you, I have spent a lot of time, both during the show and previous to this, trying to find an actual comp to where Nebraska was and is now. And I'm telling you, I don't think we appreciate as a fan base the state of the program when Matt Rhule was hired. Because I've been trying to find anyone hired in a power conference for a power conference football program. I'm not even getting into expectations and history and things like that yet. I'm trying to find anyone hired at a power conference football program since 2020, so post-COVID, so 2021 or later, because that's a lot of rules have changed since then. So I think that's a fair cutoff, who inherited at least a 5-year bowl drought. And you know what? I haven't found any yet, except for, I can't remember the guy's name. Whoever got hired at Stanford now is inheriting that situation. Mm-hmm. But we have no idea what they're doing yet or how he's going to do yet, right? So, I mean, people, what do you think? Let throw out some names of some very bad power conference football programs, DB.
Right now?
But yeah, just off the top of your head, who historically do we think of as a very bad Vanderbilt, right?
Northwestern.
Okay, let's look
Vanderbilt.
at Northwestern. Northwestern's going to be weird because of the Fitzgerald thing. But Vanderbilt, how long of a bowl drought do you think Clark Lee inherited?
In Vandy?
Yeah.
Ooh.
How long of a bowl drought did Derek Mason hand off to Clark Lee?
Franklin went.
Yep.
So 8 years?
2.
Oh, that's it?
2. Let's name another really bad. How
about Duke?
Duke's a great one. Let's look up Duke. Duke football record by year. I actually don't know this one, so let's see. I haven't looked at this one yet.
Okay.
How long of a bowl drought do you think Mike Elko inherited at Duke from David Cutcliffe?
Oh, that's not very many. 4.
3.
Okay.
You want to do Indiana? That's the one we always like to bring up, right? Indiana. Let's bring up Indiana. How many does Indiana have?
Do you guys know what's happening with this voice, right? You going for the kill shot?
How long of a bowl drought do you think Curt Cignetti, apparently our Lord and Savior Curt Cignetti, how long of a bowl drought do you think he inherited?
Dude, you're losing your mind.
From Tom Allen. How long?
Google me.
Indiana, one of the losingest programs until this year, the losingest program in college football history. How long of a bowl drought did the godlike Curt Cignetti inherit?
4.
3.
Okay.
Who else did? Northwestern. Let's look up Northwestern. Let's see what Northwestern has going on here.
Probably a number 2.
Who did this to you?
Let's see what Northwestern had going on here. How long? Which one do you want? You want David Braun? Because he's the most recent hire until this. So David Braun, right?
Yeah.
How long of a bowl drought did David Braun inherit from Pat Fitzgerald?
Oh, that can't be more than 2.
It's 2. And let's go all the way back.
Probably number 2.
Let's go back to Pat Fitzgerald, where college football wasn't even in the same neighborhood of what we're doing now. How long? But this is the bad football program, right? Northwestern, bad football program. How long was the bowl drought that Pat Fitzgerald inherited? This is 2006 when Pat Fitzgerald was hired.
So who was after?
So it was Barnett and then Randy Walker.
All right. So Walker won a little bit, though.
How long was the bowl drought that Pat Fitzgerald at the all-time bad program, which is now the losingest program in college football, by the way?
That's not more than 3.
It's 0. Randy Walker made a bowl game the year he was fired.
Oh, okay.
Or was like, I don't even know what happened because it was 20 years ago and I don't care about Northwestern. So
Tater, that's man, you can't be doing that's not what he's. Would you like to explain to Tater, who's kind of always a pessimist? So I get he's going to play the game. Would you like to explain to Tater what you're saying?
What I'm saying is the situation that Matt Rhule inherited at Nebraska was far worse than any of us are willing to admit.
Can I give another one?
Name any bad football team you want.
Give me.
I hope you find one.
I'm trying. Give me Virginia.
Meet Virginia. Virginia Cavaliers football. Let's see what we have here. It's not going to be that long because Bronco Mendenhall won a little bit early. So Tony Elliott, that's the most recent hire. How long of a bowl drought did Tony Elliott inherit?
Oh, maybe none
from Bronco Mendenhall.
Maybe none.
It's 2.
Okay.
But they were 500 both years. They went 5-5, 6-6. They declined bowls both years. And then Tony Elliott was hired after Bronco Mendenhall retired. 0 below 500 seasons after Bronco Mendenhall's first year, but a 2-year bowl drought.
How about Colorado?
Oh, Colorado's a good one. They had some rough times. Let's look at Colorado.
You're
just trying to find one now.
Yeah, I just want to find one.
I'm going to spoil it for you. I don't think we're going to.
8 can't be the longest.
Of people inheriting a job that have been hired since COVID, I think it is.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean,
I missed the quantifier.
Oh, this is terrific. Yeah, let's see how long of a bowl drought did one Deion Sanders inherit at Colorado?
maybe it's a 3 or 4.
Is that Sam? 3?
It is 3. Carl Durrell made a bowl game.
Huh.
The point is not that Nebraska is like any of these programs, not that Nebraska should strive to be like any of these programs. The point of this is Nebraska was in a dreadful position when Matt Rhule was hired. You want some other facts and figures here for you? It's been over a decade. People are like, oh, we haven't seen return on investment. We haven't seen improvement. We haven't seen whatever. Here are the facts. These are unequivocal facts. And you can explain them away with schedule or with what it looks like and whatever else. If you want to go what it looks like, you go back and take the best 3-9 team of all time. They're all yours. You can have them. Not interested, right? But here are the absolute unequivocal facts. It had been over a decade since Nebraska finished above 500 in consecutive seasons. That's a fact. Bo's last 2 years were the last time. That's across 3 head coaches. That is the last time Nebraska had finished above 500 in consecutive years. That's longer than the bowl drought. So, I don't know that we appreciate the thing that I'm not even talking about the 90s. This isn't the 2010s, man. We're having totally different conversations here about what the reality of what Nebraska football has been. And I fully believe that we're different than all these other programs because of the commitment to winning. But we're going to have to be patient because we bleeped it up more than the rest of those programs did too. We did. There's no way around that. We shot ourselves in the foot over and over and over again. We Plaxico Burress that thing every year until we couldn't walk. And now we're like, hey, how come we have a limp? It doesn't make any, it's been so much worse than we can even imagine, so that when we see real progress, we're mad that it's not what we want. This has been real progress. I don't know how else to say it. It has been. And I don't know what else to tell you. The starting quarterback was gone for the last third of the season. That doesn't impact the win-loss record? What are we talking about here? You don't think they would have ended up, whatever you feel about Dylan Raiola, and people are clear about my feelings, he was the best quarterback on the roster last year. Full stop. What are we doing? And it was still clear progress year over year, even with mistakes that were made, whether it was in hiring or who you brought into the program or whatever else. It's still been clear progress year over year from a program that was in a way worse position than we will ever say out loud. We're just not willing to do it. And I don't understand why, because it would make all of these conversations way easier if you could rip the Band-Aid off and be like, oh, there's some scar tissue there because we were terrible at this for way longer than anybody wants to admit.
To the point, though, too, I hate to even say anything. I'm floored because you clearly have been sitting on this.
Well, it bubbles up once every few months because I've gone through the bowl drought exercise before.
You're mad.
And people still just can't get their arms around or their heads around or whatever. What a bad position Nebraska was in when Rhule inherited it.
The thing that makes me probably the most upset, and I try to be clear, I like to try to make distinctions so people can't wiggle off the hook. I'm a big not let you wiggle off the hook guy. Mm-hmm. I hate, so there's 2 things that really bug me in this.
Okay.
Number one, it's go out of your way to predict failure. That's not a hot take. It's the safe thing to say. So to say, I'm on record for saying this isn't going to work. History says you're right. Mm-hmm. Cool. The problem is when you start talking about just the facts, because people, if you're being disingenuous about just procuring data, this is what you'll say. Ravi's being an apologist. Nobody is explaining away anything. You get data, you get facts, then you get to do with it what you will. Nobody's saying you can't feel like this or defending not feeling like that. Just saying this is the data. So if we're going to have this conversation, this is the starting point. Because if you say anything to the contrary, it's, you know how it's painted, right? Because you're saying things that people don't agree with because they just want to, hey, I mean, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that, he's never going to do this. Unfortunately, but fortunately, he's not afforded that same luxury.
Correct.
He can't just rest in that. You may be right. Oh, man, he's a career blank coach. Or, hey, he's a... And I always say this, like, you can't rest in that, right? Just because you always have been doesn't mean you always will be. I say all these things, oh, man, you're being an apologist, you're being an apologist. It's the same thing I tell you about the running back room. It's the same thing I tell you about, you know, why the Hell on Wheels comment was made. Giving you an explanation without absolving anybody of ownership is not an apologist. It's not an excuse maker. It's here's the information, right? If you double down on the fact that, man, I'm pissed. They didn't get a. I'll just use Porter running back because that's the one I have fun with.
Sure. Yeah.
Because there's nothing there's no data that shows you're right.
Yeah.
None. Like it's just an opinion. And I'm not saying you can't have it. I'm saying, how are they wrong for not getting a portal back? You do know more about the running back room than you did a year ago. It's true that no one has gotten worse on Coach Barthel's watch. It's also not true that Dana inexplicably found Emmett. Fewer things make me more upset than that. You're just talking. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've pulled Emmett to the side. You know I hate being wrong, right?
Yeah.
15 times I pulled him to the side. Hey, what about this narrative? Walk me through how you got better. I asked him during the broadcast, or maybe KC did, about kind of the evolution and learning to be a running back. Gives Coach Barthel all the credit in the world. Right? Like, why is that not good enough for us? Like, what do we want to be right about?
About
somebody's
how we feel.
not good at their job?
We want to be right about how we feel.
That was, what was that? What did he go for? Was that 10 minutes? 8, 9, 10 minutes? I don't have any problems with that. And listen, it may not, I don't know what Coach Rhule's going to do. I don't know if he's going to win. Somebody asked me in Nebraska City, hey, what are your predictions? I don't know. I'll tell you closer to the season when I know what everybody else is doing too.
I have no idea.
But to resign yourself to the fact that Nebraska isn't going to be good is not a hot take. They haven't been good. So there's a good chance you may be right.
Listen, you can sit here and tell me like hey, I don't, and give me real reasons, but like you can sit here and tell me, hey, like I don't think Rhule is the guy, I don't think it's going the right direction, whatever. But you also at the same time, in the same breath, have to acknowledge this is the most wins Nebraska's had over a 3-year stretch since Mike Riley.
No, I understand. I mean, come on, man. You're doubling down on the fact that I said, you can be making progress and it not be where you want it to be.
Absolutely.
What's that? All right.
But like, if you're going to tell me all these things about how you feel, you also have to acknowledge this is the most successful stretch Nebraska's had in a decade.
And listen,
because if you can't do those two things, we can't have a conmission.
And this guy, this doesn't have anything to do with my relationship with Coach Rhule, because I've gotten along with just about anybody that's been there, because I think primarily my belief in the head coach at the time is I know what the guy that everybody thinks was one of the greatest coaches of all time went through. Like, I was there. I know. I know how Coach Osborne felt about how people felt about the program.
Mm-hmm.
I know what he talked to us about, what he was going through about getting over the hump. I know he's a coach that has a losing bowl record. Right? Like,
Yeah.
we encapsulate this thing with like this 5-year run, and it's like, see, why can't you do that? And I've always argued it was more of a statistical anomaly than it should have been the norm.
Sure.
Right? What Nebraska pulled off geographically with the number of national championships it has should not happen to a college football program. There is no data. You cannot give me a comp of another program historically with the demographics and geographics location that Nebraska has that has won at the level Nebraska did. It's an anomaly. Now, I can say that and say, oh, man, what I hear yesterday, somebody said to me, well, so you should be happy with 6 wins? No, I'm not. Right? Oh, you'd be dancing in the streets if they went 9-3 and beat Iowa? Yeah. Do you know why? Do you know why?
It's progress.
And it's significantly better than anything they have been doing. But I was also the guy that said, listen, you can't be afraid to compare yourself to Michigan State. I first started doing this job.
Yeah.
This is 15 years ago. Like, you can't be afraid to say out loud, you're aspiring to be like Wisconsin or Michigan State. Like, because at that time, I was just trying to recalibrate, not lowering the expectation level, but to be appreciative of where they had been and not to expect it. Because it's just dangerous ground. Because what it does is it just chews guys up and it spits them out. Because it's not realistic for the comp. It's a goal.
Sure.
It's something you aspire towards. But if you start talking about falling in love with the process more as a starting place for what this place has to be, I mean, I get it. Some people they don't want to hear that. But I think you brought up a good point yesterday, and that tirade was whatever that was fantastic there. But the whole how we feel about how sports make us feel, where volleyball is a feel-good thing. You know, men's basketball is a feel-good thing. And when people see football, it elicits anger and embarrassment.
Embarrassment. Shame is the word I would use.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I get why we emotionally hedge. I just wish we would say that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I could live with that.
Because then, like, when you speak it into existence, or that's your whole bit or your shtick or like your platform, that's okay. Just know that, like, if you're really cheering for people, just hope that they're not like that.
Yeah.
Like that would be like the ultimate conflict for me, right? If I'm cheering for you, but the whole time I'm like, man, this guy, this fail. Hashtag fail. Hey, man.
I
Go
mean,
get him, right? Like, that would be
not an abstract. That happened.
That would be exhausting.
Like, I mean,
that would be exhausting.
I really struggle when people aren't honest about where their opinions are coming from, because I think a lot of it is emotional hedging, and that's fine. I get it. Like, I understand emotional hedging. That's not how I like to operate, that's my personal opinion. But if you're going to emotionally hedge, just be honest about what you're doing. I'm fine with that. The other part of this that I find very frustrating, which is kind of what brought this whole thing up, was the investment into the program. I want to use different sports for a comparison here, right?
Okay.
Like, I've gone through stretches as a Boston Red Sox fan where they have money and they don't spend money, and it drives me crazy. Right? Like, last few years, I'm like, hey, can you go sign somebody? Can you go get a pitcher? Can you, like, we need a third baseman. Like, can we figure this out? Like, we've had these conversations, right?
Yeah.
They have money. They don't spend money. They don't get the results that you want.
Are you reading up on Rutgers?
The football program?
Yeah.
No, not right now. What's up?
Like, going into, like, statewide debt.
Oh.
Burning money that they don't have.
Yeah. A lot of programs are doing that. This is why I warned about the private equity thing. Somebody's going to lose their athletic department over it.
That's why I don't like the ROI talk either.
Yeah. But let's, like,
we're talking about we're
talking about different things.
It's different.
But the alternative to spending money is not spending money, and you don't want that either, right? Like, you don't want Nebraska to not spend money. That's why I don't understand this whole conversation. I get that emotionally you want more out of the money that's spent, although I'm going to be honest with you, most of the people that complain about the money aren't the ones giving the money, so I don't totally understand. Like, it's not your investment for the most part, right? Like, most of the people that complain about it that are actually giving the money aren't doing it in our chat. They're calling the athletic director and being like, hey, what are we doing here, bud? Right? Because that's what that giving that amount of money gives you, is access to those people. So, like, I don't really understand why we get so bent out of shape about money that isn't ours being spent on a thing that we want to have spent money on.
We need something to validate the way we feel.
Exactly, right? So the money, like, but I promise you, you don't want to live in a world where Nebraska football doesn't spend money. You don't want that. We complained about it when Rhule got hired. Oh, are they spending enough on assistants? We complained about it with the roster. Oh, are they spending enough on NIL? You want them to spend money. You're just mad it's not getting you more yet. But we aren't willing to say the yet part because we think, again, going back to last week, what has been will always be. Well, guess what? That wasn't true in the 90s when what has been was good. That wasn't what will always be. And it's not true now when what has been was bad. That's not what will always be either. Like, you have to stay the course in terms of how you operate if you believe in what you're doing, and that includes spending the money if you ever want to change the outcomes.
Hey,
you can't just go to Iowa's budget and be like, oh, if we spend Iowa's budget, then we'll win the same amount of games as Iowa. That's nonsensical.
Shane, guys are like chomping at the bit. How liberal do we want to be with sending an audio-only link?
You can be as liberal as you want.
You just have to have their phone number? Is that how you send it, or email?
Email, I guess. I mean, if it'll come in on the email, sure.
Phantom, if you want to have at it, send your email, and Shane will send you you just click audio only, and you can talk. You can say whatever you like, because I'm dying to kind of know more about why people think like this, not to argue. Just so I have an idea.
You want to understand where
I just want to understand. Like, yeah. I could clearly be missing something. I could. Like, I don't know. I guess, and part of it is I'm just going to be honest, right? Because I do want to be pretty see-through. There's this part of me that would love to see people have to be authentic with whatever and whoever they are if Nebraska is ever good.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Right? Because
a lot of people are going to have to change their tune.
Or just get a new bit.
Or double down and pretend like we don't have receipts.
Yeah. I mean, so that's part of it, and that's unhealthy.
I think it's fine. Spite's a great motivator.
I don't know. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that dude. I don't know if we're going to get it, Shane, but I just wanted to know before I put you on, before I pulled a Cam Newton.
I just don't understand.
Speaking of which, jeez, is he losing his mind?
Yeah, I'm not a big Cam Newton guy.
I might have to be out.
Yeah, I'm not a big Cam Newton guy.
Just getting stranger. But I used to embrace the weird because there was still some substance.
Yeah, it's gotten mostly just weird now.
It's pretty weird.
It's a lot of weird.
Yeah. I can't believe you've been sitting on that. I would like to try to give you pushback. I swear to goodness I would.
I know you don't like it when I'm right about things. I know it bothers you. I could tell. Like, I could see in your head you're searching for something that I said wrong.
I was captivated.
It's just I don't understand the money part of this. Like, do you want to spend like Iowa? Like, do you think spending like Iowa will magically get you Iowa results?
I don't understand the I don't
understand the construct of the money part of it. Because I promise you don't want Nebraska to stop spending money.
And we just got the Northwestern comp. Do you want to spend like Northwestern?
That's my point. And spending like Northwestern doesn't mean you're going to win that way.
I don't know.
That's why I was looking for I'm genuinely I think I'm going to go through every power conference team tonight to see if there is
here we go.
To see if there I want to know. I want the full data set to see if there is someone who's hired post-COVID that inherited a longer bowl drought or even a 5-year bowl drought, not even a longer bowl drought, but a 5-year bowl drought. Because I don't think there is. And I think that gives really good context. And I have to start after COVID because so many rules changed for football after COVID.
Can I just throw this in?
Yeah.
Because I think this is really, really, really important. So when I hear a lot of
Tiger's right. Kansas did, and we got really excited about Lance Leipold, and he's had 2 consecutive losing seasons.
Yeah.
So for what it's worth, we got really excited about the early success. He's right. Kansas is the one I found. They had like a 9-year bowl drought before Leipold got hired in 2021, and he went like 2-10, and then like 7-6, and then 9-4, and we got really, really excited. He's been 5-7 the last 2 years. Is that what you want?
So here's the thing, though. This is why I don't love you kind of hit on it with the Iowa reference. You kind of submised it to 26 years.
I was just trying to go from when Ferentz had been there.
I listen, it's legit, but it's the same thing with Fleck too. This is why Nebraska struggles with Iowa and Minnesota, because those teams it's predicated and built on culture. Those are culture games. They are culture teams. So when I live this, so I think I can speak to this a little bit. As a guy that has told you guys, I'm too black for some, I'm not black enough for others. So the less secure I am about that, the more I'm going to waver when I'm squeezed. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure on the essence or the core of who I am.
Yes.
Similar to, we always use Iowa and Minnesota as litmus tests, but we don't want to talk about culture. Culture, we eye roll.
Yep.
We're like,
it's Jimmy's and Joe's. Let's face it, Minnesota has better players than we.
So, like which is it? I'm serious. Which is it?
Is it culture, or do they have better players?
So when you face teams like that and you're squeezed and you're not as established with who you are and your security within who you are, you're going to fluctuate a ton more than having some resolve on who and what you want to be. That's why I don't love the examples, because you're talking about a year 3 scrambled eggs deal to folks that know they want their junk over easy, medium, poach, how they know how they want their eggs. Right. So we're still scrambling, which is why I don't like the year 3. The year 3 Temple, year 4 Baylor thing is for people that don't really want to have intelligent conversations, because the landscape of college football is so much different. You don't have a chance now to go. I mean, look what's happening with Aranda.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Because the minute you get expectations,
everything changes.
It changes.
Which is the variable I can't really account for when I'm going through this exercise, is the expectations.
You can't simulate you don't have a comp because nobody's won at the level they did.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be like
it heightens people's sensitivity to the topic.
Yes. It would have to be basically like if Ohio State now or Alabama now would go on the struggles that Nebraska has had.
Coincidentally, Alabama did.
Before.
Right, with whatever, 4 coaches in 13 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why it's like we're not really comparing apples to apples. They just have to get better.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I hate to say it because it's basketball, but like Coach Hoiberg got time.
Yeah, because people had zero expectations for basketball.
I was going to say that.
There's zero expectations for basketball.
You don't have the same expectations.
You don't get to go 7 wins, 10 wins, 16 wins. So
can you imagine?
Like, you don't get that.
The baseball team even having the year that they did 2 years ago, and they lost in regionals to Caglione and those guys, and came back to win the rubber match, and then having the season that Coach Bolt had last year without the Big Ten run. So we don't even really talk about that.
Yeah.
Because of where the expectations are.
Yeah.
It's just different.
It totally changes the entire filter.
And don't apologize for it. Hear my heart. Like,
don't apologize for expectations.
Just don't be disingenuous about it.
Acknowledge that the expectations change the filter through which we receive the information.
Yeah, that's why I snapped on the basketball can do it thing. Like, don't
That's why I brought up volleyball, because that's the only other program that A, has won at that level, and B, I think has similar expectations.
And we're still afraid to say
That
they
they
didn't
haven't-
maximize.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're afraid to say it out loud.
But
I do think something to your point, though, about it, it's still illuminating good feel
Yes.
around the country.
So that's why I was.
Like people are like, ooh,
I think
they're one of the best in the business.
I think
they're one of the best in the business.
I think it was Peg that brought it up yesterday.
Yeah, she was spot on.
She was spot on, because even though I think you can genuinely make the argument, and I know Matt DeMaria has told me not to say this on the air, but I think you can genuinely make the argument that the way the volleyball season ended, considering what their season was and where they are in the sport, is more disappointing than the way the football season ended. I think that's a real conversation you could have, but nationally, and when you go out to your friends and neighbors and airports and wherever else, everybody feels good about Nebraska volleyball.
So here's the cool thing about why I rock with volleyball. They're, regardless of what the sentiment is, they're still driven.
Yeah.
Coach Cook stayed on the gas, and
Coach Cook stayed on the gas. DBK is staying on the gas.
I mean, you check out the very few comments on social media. You think she's cool with what happened?
You think anybody like
she's a gem?
Rico brought this up in the Discord yesterday. You think anybody's cool with the fact that Lexi Rodriguez didn't win a national championship here?
Oh, I know. I know.
That's horrifying, right? You think anybody's going to be cool if this current group of seniors doesn't win a national championship here? But because it still elicits positive feelings about the program.
But I'm gonna go back to something, and it's not popular, but we just keep it a buck. We like those coaches better.
100%.
We like them better as people.
We like John Cook. We like DBK.
Yep.
We like Fred Hoiberg.
Yep.
Right? Like the coach, we like Mark Manning.
Yep.
Right? We were talking about, let's not pretend like we weren't talking about when they bring in AJ Ferrari, it was to try and win a national championship. He said those words on our air.
Yeah.
That's a thing that happened. I'm not making things up. Right? So when you bring in AJ Ferrari to win a national championship, and then you don't win a national championship, but we like Mark Manning, so we're like, third, that's pretty good. Which it is. It is pretty good. But let's not pretend like that was the goal. Like, when you for whatever reason, we like those coaches, and maybe it is an expectations thing, but we like those coaches more than we currently like Coach Rhule, or weirdly, Coach Barthel gets thrown into this a lot, and I don't understand it all. But we decide we like those guys better, so we're willing to put up with more. I don't understand it. I don't. I mean, let's not pretend like that didn't give Frost a lot more leeway than he probably deserved.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if he is not a national championship winning quarterback at Nebraska, do you think he survives a 3-9 year?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Right? I
get it.
And I said this from the start. I promise you, Matt Rhule is a lot more one of us than Frost was in the way he operates.
Yeah.
I don't care where he was born. Coach Rhule feels like a Nebraskan, and I'll take that.
I wonder if he would do. I don't want to give him a heads up. I'd like to just take him to task on some tough things, just to hear him.
Coach Rhule?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
pick an adversarial side.
There's definitely some things that deserve to be questioned. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But again, I need people to understand you can be adversarial, but in that context, you also have to understand that the last 2 years at Nebraska are their most successful years in a decade. So you can be as adversarial as you want if you keep that in your head also.
My guess, though, is he wouldn't land on that.
That's fine.
Although it may be, this is a real, we're just processing through this together real time. I don't think he would land on that, even though in the back of my mind, I know he would probably say, listen, we're better than we have been. Let's just start there. It's not where I want to be.
Yes. He wouldn't use the context of the last decade, but I think he would use the context of, hey, we're making progress. It's not as fast as I want it to be, and we're certainly not where we want to be, but we have made progress. And I think that's unequivocally true. That's why I give the context of the last decade, because it's something you literally cannot argue.
Mm-hmm.
They have not finished above 500 in consecutive years in over a decade until these last 2 years. So that's the only thing I can use that is unimpeachable, because it is strictly fact.
You know, the thing that's throwing me is you know, because he can be kind of a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember this is probably right after one of the first press conferences. I don't know if I told you this. I was at a practice. And I was like, hey, you good, man? How you been? And he goes, he's going to, I don't know if I'll get back to him, but it's like, he kind of gives me this rant, like, I'm fine. Why? And I was like, hey, I'm just checking on you, like, just making sure you're good. He walked away. He came back like 2-3 minutes later. This is exactly what he did. I'm standing up. He's standing. He's like, hey. He's, hey, you're not giving me any of that pity party shit, are you? Like, I don't need that. And I was like, hey, man, I'm just, nah.
Yeah.
Like, so the thing that's throwing me is he doesn't, I know he doesn't want that.
Yeah, he doesn't need me to defend him. I get that.
Like, and he had time to sit on it
and came back to it.
And came back to it. Like it bugged him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like that might be an experiment I would get. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm just thinking out loud. Because I'm just trying to figure out like this back and forth over the last 5 weeks. And apparently it isn't near as much apathy as we like to beat I just don't care anymore. I've checked out. Well, I mean, are you? Because like you could just let the comments go.
A lot of comments were checked out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
a lot of
I don't know.
opinions for being
think
checked out.
I think it's just kind of a cool thing to say, but I'm willing to see it through. Right. I mean, I keep hearing about how brutal this schedule is and how we should probably turn it in. So like I'm curious to compete.
You think we're still going to show up in the fall? You think that's? I mean, I don't know. With that schedule, should we show up at all?
I was just encouraged by. I don't know if I said this in Nebraska City or to you. Did I tell you about the player that said why they came to the Big Ten? So I'm over at the complex waiting for Caleb after the spring game. And I'm talking to one of the players, good player, one of their better players. Doesn't say a ton. And there's just 3 or 4 of us in the corner. He's talking to another player's parent. I saw his parents just leave. And I said, hey, not bad. Like, wasn't a ton of takeaways. Pretty vanilla. Like, good to see. The back and forth up front, and one's like guys getting after it. And I said, 4 months of OTAs. I said, you guys, are you ready for that? He's like, I can't do his voice. I'm gonna try to keep it very generic. He's like, hey, bro. Like 4 months of OTAs, we got work to do. I don't know if you know this, but we're not supposed to be very good because of our schedule. So listen, I'm dead dog serious. He goes, like so bad. I just want to say to people, this is why we bleeping came here. We came here to bleep and play big games in the Big Ten. What the blank are we supposed to do? Nobody's going to lay down over this ish. Ravi, I got my backpack on.
Yeah.
Right. We're in the corner, far away from everybody else. I drop that thing and pull one of these. So if Lord, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I've been sitting on that for 72 hours. I almost lost my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because the bump effect you get from playing a schedule that is supposed to be so GD hard is you train your ass off because you don't want to get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
So there is this boost. And don't be disingenuous and say, well, you should have that anyway. You've never played. If that's your response, you've never played. So I'm not listening. No disrespect. We just can't hang out. Change my whole perspective. Because people don't understand. When you compete, you're competing. And when people are out to do bad to you, fight back.
Yeah.
Just fight back. Listen, baby sprint.
Take a little lap.
Dude, the latch is broke.
Yeah, you broke your latch.
I was
on it?
like, I couldn't get rid of that thing fast enough. It's too heavy for me to run with. I'm old. Not enough 157.
I would say you gotta get that BP 157.
It wasn't like jumping the fence with no weight.
I have not wanted an overhead cam more than from what just happened. If we had a fourth camera, that would have been gold.
It's why I get so frustrated. Because I know how those guys think.
And that's what you want.
That's all I want.
That's what you want. That's the stuff. Like you'll bet on that.
I want a coach to say, "Hey man, don't give me that pity shit. Is this a bit like just checking on you, man?"
You want guys wired that way, though.
I do.
Not just you. I mean, in general, you should want guys wired that way.
Yeah, man.
If you're trying to build a program about culture and about competitiveness and about trying to become nationally relevant again, you need guys that think that way. Because guess what? If you want to be nationally relevant again, this isn't like, I hate to break it to you, this isn't the Big Eight. You're gonna have to play good teams eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, hey, we're gonna check out for Oklahoma at the end of the year.
And
hope
there's
for the
like
best.
6 or 7 nationally ranked ones in the top 25 every year.
That's what the conference is. That's what college football is now. But you also don't have to go undefeated anymore to make a playoff. So that's the exchange, right? You can lose a couple and you're in a good conference. You'll get a shot still, right? Like this isn't. I don't know what you're gonna play good teams every year. That's what we signed up for. That's what the money's for, right? Like that's part of it now. That's what college football is now.
Read Ben's comment.
DB, that's quite the change from a team that voted to not play in an additional football game. That's worth a lot of money in my book. Yeah, we forget about that part. Nebraska could have broke their bowl streak in 2020. They chose not to. You think there's any chance if there was a vote to play a football game on Jupiter that this team would be like, nah, we're good? It wasn't that long ago, guys.
No, I need to chill out.
That was 5 seasons ago.
I need to chill out.
In which this football team says, we don't want to play again. No, thank you. And if you believe Bill Moose, they tried to do it twice. They didn't want to play the extra bonus. We forget about that. The last COVID game in the regular season wasn't scheduled. That was like hey, let's match these guys up. We remember that, right? I think that was the Rutgers game where it was, hey,
captain, nobody players that's fan type stuff, which is fine.
We forget.
I mean, that's his perspective, but that's just not how competitors. That's
if you believe Bill Moose, they tried to get out of that game.
You don't want anybody in that locker room saying, "Let's just win the first 3 games. Let's win the first 3 games first." Like you don't want people thinking like that. No. The reality of it is you're not wrong. The practicality of it is
you can't operate that way.
You can't operate that way.
No, absolutely not.
So that's always going to be a disconnect.
Sometimes as fans, you have the advantage of being able to zoom out and not be in the nitty gritty. I understand that. And I can yes, they do have to win the first 3 games, obviously. Right. Yeah. Like that's what it is. And again, if you want to talk about progress, that's something Nebraska's shown that they're capable of with Matt Rhule that they were not capable of before, is winning the first 3 games of the season or winning 3 games in a row at all ever. We remember that, right? How long was it Nebraska couldn't win 3 games in a row? Like, we remember that part?
I remember having a couple of shows every week about check marks of exercising demons.
Gotta exercise the demons.
I have exercised the demons.
Bat guano.
There is.
If you know, you know.
That wasn't that long ago that they voted not to play in football games.
You're right, Chuck. Coach Hoiberg said it every game. Are you satisfied?
Nope.
He had a really mature, experienced adult bunch. They'll take that message.
Who's getting older now?
That's why this year is so critical, Ravi, because if Nebraska can build, Listen to what I'm telling you. If Nebraska can build on this year, as doom and gloomy and daunting as it seems, all the jokesters out there, and year 3 Temple and year 4 Baylor and Hatback, all the cynicism. If Nebraska can remotely build on a year ago from a momentum standpoint, you all of a sudden, I'm not even talking about the 2027 recruiting class, which on paper right now has got a chance to be good. I'm talking about when they actually play with guys that are in the program, they will finally be an old football team. That's what I want to see. And I'm certainly, don't even remotely form your lips to say I'm bypassing this year, because I predicated the whole thing on building off of last year for this year. I'm not conceding ish. But if you can go in with some momentum, that big old crop of redshirt sophomores become redshirt juniors. That super small senior class you got again this year is gonzo, and I get to be an old football team. Then I'll take my chances. Then I'll know, like when I see an Indiana and their average age is like 23.8 years old, I'll take my chances.
Is there anything that we underrate as fans more than being an old football team?
No, because we're really not patient enough to allow it to get there before we blow it out if we don't like the results. I just look at who's winning in all the sports.
Like physical maturity in football especially. Like that's a thing that I think we underrate a lot.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yes, it helps if you're in the same program and can grow together as a core and the culture and things like that. But
look at Nebraska baseball.
Even just physical maturity.
Look at
Nebraska
basketball.
Old team.
Old.
We did this exercise a couple days ago this week. How many teams since freshmen became eligible in 1972 have won a national title
with
the leading scorer being a freshman?
None.
It was 3.
Well, Mello.
2012 Kentucky, 2015 Duke. That's the list.
Oh, because Kentucky had the 3.
Kentucky had
Kid Gilchrist.
At Davis led him in scoring.
Yeah.
And then 2015 was Jalil Okafor and Justice Winslow for Duke. 3. In 55 years of college basketball, a freshman being eligible, and especially in this last 15 years with the one and dones and all that, 3 ever have won with a freshman being your leading scorer. And there's been some pretty damn good freshmen.
I'm all of a sudden subdued for momentarily losing my mind, and I blame you.
Well, you know,
I wasn't even going to tell that story. I wasn't.
Moto, you're right. Osborne's teams were all old.
Yeah, but see, he's right. It's kind of like Captain. Like, they're right, but we can't really think like that, because it was part of the culture where you worked your ass off as a freshman. You wanted to be in the rotation as a redshirt freshman. You were hoping to get meaningful time as a sophomore. Then you were a starter. If you were a 2 or 2.5 year starter,
that was huge.
That was huge.
I mean,
that was huge.
I remember Bobby Bowden used to talk about how he didn't want to start a quarterback until they were redshirt juniors, and he wanted to start them for 2 years. But he wanted them in that They didn't want them starting until their 4th year in the program.
Yeah,
and that's quarterbacks. We're not even talking about physical maturity positions like offensive and defensive
we made
line.
fun of Frost for being old. We made fun of Frost for we made fun of Frost for saying that he wanted to be old.
Well, I made fun of Frost for other reasons, but
you know what I mean?
Yes. No, I do know what you mean. I think it is a thing maybe we underrate the most in college sports, is just being old.
Might be right.
All right. That's it for today. We're I
am old.
Yeah, I mean, can't all be as old as Shane. That's why he wins so much. It's maturity.
Yeah.
That's why Rico's got a little too much maturity. That's why he needs to call our friends over at Next Gen.
That's wow. Hey, so here's the thing, Suave, because you usually punch back pretty quick. And you've had to sit on a few things. Just think, you got all day. You're just going to accrue data.
I'm just over here trying to get a clip of Damon
like,
telling a story and running around some cameras. I'm just trying to get some more views to your show, and I'm sniped.
Poor Rico.
Old Lee Ravi Oswald over here.
Well, if you believe BC, I wasn't the real shooter.
Lee Ravi Oswald may stick.
That was funny.
LRO.
Robbie.
That is the show for today.
Is another keeper.
We will take we'll take it from there, and we'll be back tomorrow. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.